I have kidnapped an alien civilization. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176 Oslo. Oslo International Airport, Norway. As soon as he stepped out of the cabin and onto the gangway, Liemo saw several young Norwegians holding signs that read "Welcome Liemo to Norway." There were also several extended Rolls Royces parked next to him. The passengers behind him stared at the scene in amazement. It was not common for the airport to pick up passengers and bring them to the tarmac. Could it be that there were celebrities or politicians on the same plane? Liemo walked down the gangway slowly. A blonde girl presented a bouquet of flowers. "Welcome to Oslo. We are students from the University of Oslo. We are here on behalf of the Norwegian Academy of Sciences to welcome Mr. Liemo, the winner of the Abel Prize." The girl's English was very standard. "Thank you." King rushed out from behind and took the bouquet. "Abel Prize? Which Chinese teenager won this year's Abel Prize?" The passengers on the same plane understood the whole story. They didn't expect that a Chinese would win this award, and he was still so young. "Liemo, keep it up." A man with a big belly gave Liemo a thumbs up. "Student Liemo, can you sign my clothes?" A girl rushed up impatiently. Looking at her clothes, Liemo took a few steps back. "Tell the people who came to greet us that we should leave quickly, otherwise it will affect others." He saw that more and more people were gathering nearby, so he told King. Soon, the motorcade left Oslo International Airport under the coordination of King. Liemo leaned against the car window. Compared with big cities in China, the streets of Oslo seemed crowded and narrow, and most of the houses on both sides were only 6 or 7 stories high. What's interesting is that most squares would place a group of lifelike human bodies. Foreign countries are open, and the sculptured children don't wear pants. Liemo's mother said in surprise. The Norwegian girl next to her said, "That's a statue of a Belgian child." It is said that a little boy named Juliansk in Belgium discovered that the enemy was about to blow up the city with explosives. He was quick-witted and urinated on the burning fuse, thus extinguishing the fuse and saving everyone. "I thought, foreign children can't be naked either." Liemo's mother had a look of understanding. At this time, the motorcade slowly stopped. On the street, a group of Norwegians in national costumes surrounded a float with Snow White and 7 dwarfs dancing on it. Passers-by stopped to watch. The crowded streets forced the motorcade to stop by the roadside and wait. "This is our Norwegian float parade," the Norwegian girl explained. King asked curiously, "Is it a festival today?" "It's not that there are float parades only on holidays. Norwegian floats also go to the streets under the organization of enthusiasts on weekdays," the Norwegian girl said. Passers-by dancing with the floats outside the window. Perhaps today's happiness is enough to make them forget the troubles of the week. Life needs a sense of ritual. Liemo thought of an internet saying, which is more appropriate for this time. "Is life a ritual?" the Norwegian girl next to him repeated in poor Mandarin. King showed a surprised look. "You can speak Chinese?" The Norwegian girl showed a confident expression on her face. "My classmates all said that my common law is very authentic." King smiled with her face covered. "Can I ask who you learned common law from?" Wow, 2 dialects can be mixed in one sentence, which is not something that ordinary people can teach. "My classmate, he is an exchange student of Guangzhou University, and it is said that his hometown is in northeast China." The girl replied. A student from northeast China was admitted to a university in Guangdong and then studied in Norway and taught a Norwegian girl to speak Mandarin. Liemo decided to meet this amazing classmate if he had the chance. Although the driver drove very leisurely, the destination was reached very quickly. After all, Oslo is not a big city. Liemo and his party were arranged to rest at the Royal Hotel in Oslo, waiting for the award ceremony 2 days later. Although our family is not a scholarly family, it is also a clean family. You and assistant Zaya can't live together like this. Liemo's mother saw Liemo leading King into the same room. "Mom, this is a suite, there are several rooms in it." Liemo didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I don't mean anything else. I just want to remind you. Liamo's mother never makes mistakes. Warm water poured from the shower head and sprinkled on his body, and the bathroom was filled with white mist. Liamo closed his eyes and enjoyed this rare quietness. Knock knock knock. Someone knocked on the door. Boss, boss. Zaya King's hurried voice came from outside the door. Liamo thought. Did my mother guess it? No, no, absolutely not. He pretended not to hear it. The knocking sound changed from the initial knock 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 to the harsh bang bang bang. Liamo decided to play dead to the end. There was no response, and the knocking sound changed from bang 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 to the deafening bang, 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 bang. At this time, Liamo remembered that she had learned kung fu, and the door of this 5-star hotel might not be able to withstand a few of her knocks. Liamo turned off the shower head and quickly dressed, regardless of the foam all over his body. Half a minute later, a head stuck out of the bathroom. When he saw the person coming into the living room, the hesitation and dissatisfaction on Liamo's face immediately disappeared, and his eyes widened. This is normal. Anyone who has just finished taking a shower and is about to leave the bathroom will not necessarily perform better than Liamo if he sees more than 10 strangers in the living room and a huge camera pointed at him. Who are they? With one hand fastening the misplaced buttons and the other hand pulling the wrinkled clothes, Liamo cast a puzzled look at Zaya King, who was rubbing her hands beside him. It seems that this girl is really strong, and her wrists are red from hitting. They said they are from Mango TV and barged in without an appointment. Who knows if they are ill? Making an appointment in advance is a support and respect for the assistant's work. These guys obviously angered Zaya King. Dear viewers in front of the TV, our long-awaited Abel Prize winner Liamo has finally come out of the bathroom after taking a shower. Come and say hello to everyone. Liamo, when a person is interrupted in his shower, is facing a camera before he puts on his clothes, and a fragrant female host comes up to him with a microphone, he will definitely not be in a good mood. Of course, this is how Liamo feels now. Excuse me, who are you? He tried his best to suppress his emotions. We are the Genius Brain team of Tomato TV. We were originally filming in Norway. When we heard that you won the Abel Prize, we decided to interview you. Genius Brain? Liamo had never heard of this program. In fact, he had never watched any entertainment programs. Have you made an appointment? He decided to vent his anger. How about reciting chapter 177 backwards? Appointment? The hostess opened her mouth wide, as if she had heard something funny. Student Liamo, it's like this. A man wearing a hat walked forward. He should be the director of the program group. At least Liamo thought he was a director. Our Genius Brain is the program with the highest ratings in China, and the guests invited are all super geniuses. Through our program, they can quickly become famous in China. Then what? Isn't it a bit strange that a director ran to someone else's room in the middle of the night to talk about becoming famous? Liamo still squinted at the director so that he felt that he could better express his dissatisfaction. Seeing that the interviewee seemed unmoved, the director continued, you know what it means to be famous. After you become famous, you can become a star. Many people will ask you to endorse it. With endorsements, you will make money. Zaya Wang, did the guy who recited pi backwards in the last episode just get a 200,000 endorsement advertisement? He glanced at the female host. The female host said with envy, yes, it seems that he shot an advertisement for a sanitary napkin. Did you hear that? You can make 200,000 from an advertisement. This is the charm of our Genius Brain. The director continued. Then what? This was the first time Liamo spoke to the director. Is it possible to do a show in the middle of the night? Can you just barge in when doing a show? Oh, then, taking advantage of the popularity of the Abel Prize, we can do a special show for you. In the show, you can recite the natural constant E backwards. It will definitely be more popular than the sanitary napkin boy. How is it? The director was full of expectations for his idea. This director was too much like a weird uncle who tempted kindergarten children with a lollipop. Yes, it was still missing a pair of sunglasses. Liamo had also watched Chen Shuxian. How is it? The director asked eagerly. It was a great opportunity. The ratings of this show would definitely explode. Liemo turned around and said, "Zirking, notify the hotel that someone broke in privately. Their security is not up to standard." He felt that it was too rude to refuse someone in person. You. The director was stunned by his words. Hello. Several strangers broke into the presidential suite 666. Please ask the security to come up. Zirking picked up the phone on the table. Boss, let's go. Breaking into a private house is a serious crime in Norway. We might be deported. The female host panicked when she saw that Zirking had already notified the security guard. The director stamped his feet fiercely. Just wait. One day I will. Let's go, director. The female host dragged him out. 5 minutes later, the hotel manager came to the door of the room with the security guard. Tell them that I'm very dissatisfied with the hotel's security. Liemo felt that he should take the attitude of a customer, even though he didn't spend a penny. At the door of the room, Zirking had a cross-border exchange with the hotel manager. Boss, the hotel apologizes for what happened and has decided to waive our accommodation fees. Zirking returned to the sofa and reported the results of the exchange. Waive the accommodation fee? But this accommodation didn't cost anything at all. Liemo shook his head helplessly. This foreign devil is really smart. Well, just regard it as saving money for the Norwegian Academy of Sciences. People who do scientific research are not well off, and every penny saved is a penny. The hotel manager, who received a satisfactory answer, bowed again and again. Zirking closed the door gently. Boss, do you still want to take a shower? Liemo shook his head. Why should he take a shower after all this? Knock knock knock. Someone knocked on the door again. Is the director back again? Liemo cast his inquiring eyes at Zirking. Zirking gently opened the door. Liemo. Professor Wu rushed into the room with excitement on his face. When he saw Liemo's not very neat clothes, he stopped involuntarily. He looked at Zirking. Fortunately, Zirking's macup was neat. He breathed a sigh of relief. He said to his students, Liemo, I just received news that the national television station has decided to send a team of reporters to broadcast the award ceremony live. Just as one wave left, another wave came, but this time he didn't dare to say no, because it was the teacher's dream to be on the national television. Sure enough, Professor Wu said excitedly, maybe, I may be able to show my face on the national television. No, I have to go buy a new suit. I can't embarrass Yanda. Liemo looked at the time on his mobile phone. It was already 10 o'clock in the evening. People abroad are not as dedicated as those in China. It is estimated that the clothing stores have closed long ago. I think your clothes are quite good, simple and generous, which can better show the hard-working and simple style of our Yanda University. Liemo said with a smile, if you buy a set of Western clothes worth tens of thousands of yuan, it may be exposed by netizens tomorrow. I only want to spend 1,000 yuan to buy a set. Professor Wu was frightened by the tone of the student, thinking that foreign clothes must not be cheap. He pulled his trouser legs. Yes, my clothes are also good, and they fit me well. I'll go back first. You continue to chat. Professor Wu, who had completed the task, showed a strange smile. The next day the Abel Prize Award ceremony was held in the City Hall in Oslo. Compared with the Nobel Prize Award ceremony, it seemed a bit shabby. The simple stage setting and the hall could only accommodate hundreds of people. Only the dozens of live broadcast vehicles parked on the road outside the door showed the value of this award. BBC, NAC, SBC, and the live broadcast vehicles from China's national television station. Liemo got off the limousine, and reporters crowded up, with long guns and short guns approaching him. Limo, you won the Abel Prize before the age of 20. Does it mean that there is no successor in the international mathematics community? A reporter asked, first with a microphone with the BBC logo on it. This is a malicious reporter who cleverly used Liemo's age to set him against the international mathematics community. Liemo looked at the camera and said with a smile, I can win such a big award before the age of 20, which just shows that the international mathematics community is rejuvenated and the older generation of mathematicians are open-minded. The decadent system of seniority does not exist in the mathematics circle. Hearing his clever answer, the reporter showed a surprised look. I heard that during the voting process, there was a dispute within the Abel committee. Some people thought that another professor from Oxford was more suitable. What do you think? There is such a thing. But it's normal to think about it. As the top award in the field of mathematics, the Abel Prize will definitely be favored by countless mathematicians. It doesn't matter how I see it. What matters is that I'm standing here now. Liam still had a smile on his face. If there is nothing else, I will go in to attend the award ceremony and receive my $800,000. This year's Abel Prize winner looks a little unusual. The BBC reporter felt that his carefully prepared fist hit a ball of cotton. With such newcomers joining, the international mathematics circle will become more and more lively. Student Liam, congratulations on winning this year's Abel Prize. As the first Chinese to win this award, how do you feel? A microphone marked with CTV was extended in front of him. A refined oriental woman with her hair tied up stood out among the many foreign faces. First of all, I'm honored to win this award. Secondly, I may be the first Chinese to win the award, but I will definitely not be the last. It was very well said, generous, decent, practical, and looking forward to the future. The young man's words were completely a standard news headline. The female reporter's big eyes flickered, and she had already thought about how to write the press release. Chapter 178 Abel Awards Ceremony. The auditorium was already full of mathematicians from all over the world. They sat quietly in their seats, as if they were listening to a lecture in a classroom. Someone has counted the most boring types of people in the world, and mathematicians top the list. In addition to studying mathematics and teaching, they rarely participate in other activities, let alone singing and dancing. So when several young people on the stage, dressed in Norwegian national costumes, danced to a weird rhythm of tap dance accompanied by Hardanger's violin, the professors in the audience just stared quietly. Are these people on the stage performing Oriental zombies? Could it be that the young man from China likes to watch this? The actors on the stage performed their own national dances with all their strength, and there was silence in the audience. The atmosphere was really too weird, especially when a young dancer accidentally stepped on someone else's skirt in nervousness. Squeak. The pants with flimsy fabric split in two, and a human model appeared on the stage. Ha ha ha. The audience laughed, and then they applauded. This show is interesting. I thought it was a dance, but it turned out to be a joke. Not bad, not bad. The joke dance ended hastily. Professor Stormer, who was in charge of the preparations, wiped the sweat off his head. He would definitely give the Arctic research bear that proposed adding some ethnic characteristics to the ceremony a few hairs. Fortunately, the media of various countries did not start the live broadcast just now, otherwise the Abel Prize committee would be embarrassed internationally. Hello everyone, welcome to the Abel Prize ceremony. Professor Stormer walked onto the stage holding an envelope. Although the list of winners had already been announced, he still had to make a show. The winner of the Abel Prize this year is a graduate student from Yandan. As we all know, the Abel Prize was established to commemorate the famous mathematician Abel. Abel has made countless achievements in his life. He was the first to fully prove that general algebraic equations higher than the fourth degree have no general form of algebraic solutions, discovered the Abel function, and pioneered elliptic functions. But he was not recognized by the mathematical community at the time, and died young at the age of 27. It was not until shortly before Abel's death that people realized his value. In 1828, 4 members of the French Academy of Sciences wrote to the King of Norway, asking him to provide Abel with a suitable scientific research position. Legendre also praised Abel at the Academy of Sciences meeting. 2 days after Abel's death, Cler wrote to say that he had successfully secured for Abel to be a professor of mathematics at the University of Berlin, but it was too late. So awarding the Abel Prize to a newcomer in mathematics today is completely in line with the concept of the establishment of the Abel Prize. He tore open the envelope and read with his head down. Next, please welcome the Abel Prize winner, Liam from China. His limo transformation theory is one of the most important theories in mathematics in recent years. Liam stood up and walked to the stage under the gaze of hundreds of mathematicians. Welcome Liam. Professor Stormer stretched out his right hand. The old and the young held their hands tightly together. To be honest, I'm really jealous of your age. Professor Stormer said enviously, you won the Abel Prize before the age of 20. You can imagine your future achievements. Liemo smiled and said, mathematics is a science full of inspiration and wisdom. I'm just a spark of inspiration. Not arrogant or timid. This is what Professor Stormer felt from this young man. The mathematics world is not short of geniuses, but these geniuses are often like shooting stars, fleeting. It's a great speech. Mathematics is profound and extensive. We are all like naive children in front of it. Professor Stormer agreed with Liemo's statement. He took out a huge check. Now I give you this check. I hope you can continue to climb to the top and solve endless mathematical puzzles under Abel's watchful eyes. Liemo took the check printed with 200 million Norwegian kroner and held it high. The audience applauded. As usual, do you have to give a speech to express your gratitude for the award? Professor Stormer kindly reminded him. He liked this young student too much. Liemo gently put the check aside, picked up the microphone, and looked into the distance. Everyone has a dream since childhood, and so do I. My dream is to become an international basketball star. To dominate the basketball court and win the hearts of thousands of girls. There was a burst of laughter from the audience. The young man spoke too directly. Compared with the colorful lives of those basketball players, they were too poor. But unfortunately, I don't have the chance to realize this dream. Because when I grow up, I will become a mathematician. I will use my wise mind to explore the secrets of the mathematical world and use the omnipotent numbers to describe the whole world. Although we don't make as much money as they do, although we don't have their strong bodies, although we are not as popular with girls as they are. But we mathematicians have the smartest brains in the world, so I'm proud to be a mathematician. The audience applauded, and hundreds of mathematics professors stood up. This young man is really good. No winner has ever received such treatment. Professor Stormer next to him looked at the boiling scene and felt deeply moved. At this time, students from the Department of Mathematics of Yan University of China gathered in the cafeteria. They were watching the live broadcast of the award ceremony on the national television. This stage is a bit simple. It's not as grand as a Nobel Prize ceremony. A boy wearing glasses was knowledgeable. The stage is simple, but the prize money is high. 200 million Norwegian kroner is about 5 million RMB. It's the same as the Nobel Prize. We who study mathematics don't care about the pomp and circumstance. That's right. Look at the people sitting in the audience. Most of the big names in the international mathematics community are here. Isn't this a big deal? Do you understand? Does mathematics depend on the stage? Why not go dancing? That's right. That's right. Seeing this, the boy who complained about the simple stage just now quietly shrank to the side. I'm just saying it. Is it that serious? If Liemo could only be regarded as a genius of Yanda University before, now he has been upgraded to a school treasure, and any remarks that are unfavorable to the school treasure must be criticized. No one saw that in the corner. A girl in simple clothes looked at the screen on TV and smiled brightly. This smile was so innocent and so touching. At this time, several banners had already been hung at the gate of Mengcheng No. 1 High School, which read congratulations to our graduate Liemo for winning the Abel Prize. The Abel Prize is known as the Nobel Prize in Mathematics. Liemo became the first Asian to win this award. Principal Zhao Zufeng looked at the banners with satisfaction. The new academic dean is really capable. A few banners solved the problem. The only regret is that Liemo's parents were not invited to the auditorium to watch the live broadcast. Otherwise Mengcheng No. 1 High School would definitely appear on TV. Chapter 179 Chemical Molecular Analyzer. Mr. Liemo, first of all, congratulations on winning the Abel Prize. Can I ask a few questions here? A CTV reporter said with a microphone in the conference room. After the award ceremony, the Norwegian Academy of Sciences understood the Chinese media's eagerness to interview and held a press conference for Liemo alone. Of course, Liemo was very generous in front of the camera. He saw the gesture of the director behind him broadcasting the live broadcast and knew that there might be hundreds of millions of Chinese people watching the national television now. Can you imagine that you will win this Abel Prize? The reporter asked curiously, because the winner in front of him was too young. Liemo shook his head. To be honest, I don't expect any awards, because every new discovery in mathematics is the greatest compliment to me. I didn't receive any information before this award, and it was the staff of the Norwegian Academy of Sciences who notified me by phone. A mathematician who has no expectations for winning? The reporter became more curious about this young man. So what do you think is the biggest reason for you winning the Abel Prize this time? Liemo frowned and thought for a while, then smiled and said, there are actually many reasons. The biggest reason is that I'm very handsome. Of course, this is a joke. His humor caused laughter from the reporters below the stage. After joking, Liemo looked forward. The biggest reason is my mathematical achievements. Mathematics is the only subject that is rarely disturbed by external factors. My academic achievements have been recognized by my peers at home and abroad, which is why I'm here. The reporter nodded. As a Chinese who won the award for the first time, do you have anything to say to the domestic audience? Liemo looked at the camera with a smile on his face. There is an old saying in my hometown that a single thread cannot make a line, a single tree cannot make a forest, and you can only hammer a few nails with a body of iron. Every bit of my progress has the silent support of countless Chinese people behind me. Here I want to especially thank my parents. At this time, the cameraman pointed the camera at Liemo's parents in a timely manner. When they saw themselves on the screen, they suddenly looked a little restrained and at a loss. Then I have to thank my teacher, Professor Wu, for pointing me in the right direction. Liemo continued. Professor Wu posed handsomely in front of the camera. The prize money of the Abel Prize is the largest among many international awards, about 5 million RMB. What are your plans for this money? The reporter was curious about how this young man would spend such a large sum of money. 5 million should be enough for the down payment of a house in Yanjing, right? Liemo asked the reporter. 1/3 of the down payment, 5 million, can be used for a house worth 15 million. The average price of a house in Yanjing is 60,000, which can buy a house of more than 200 square meters. The reporter knew the price very well and quickly converted it. It seemed that she was also paying attention to the housing price. Young people nowadays are so pitiful. They are heavily in debt as soon as they step out of school. Liemo smiled and said, it's a pity that I have other uses for this 5 million. Can you tell me? The reporter asked. No. Liemo smiled mysteriously. At this time, Second Universe Laboratory Code 912147 stopped his work and stared at the TV. He always felt that the young man on TV looked a bit like a familiar person, but he couldn't remember. This damn Gene, when can I appear under the flashlight like this young man? Looking at the dark laboratory, Code 91247 fiercely swept the draft on his hand to the ground. After completing the interview task, Liemo turned down Professor Stormer's invitation and boarded the plane back home. It's Liemo, the Chinese teenager who just won the Abel Prize. Student Liemo, can we take a photo together? As soon as they entered the airport, they were surrounded by sharp-eyed passengers. It was still early, so Liemo met their request for a photo. Limo, sign your name. Thank you. A young man with black hair and yellow skin said in English. Liemo asked in confusion, you are not Chinese, right? No, I'm an international student from Japan. You are the pride of our entire Asia. The young man gave a thumbs up. The whole of Asia. Liemo signed his name quickly. Aligat is enough to smash a Mars. The young Japanese man bowed deeply. Boss, let's go. Look, Zia King pointed at the large group of people pouring in at the door. At this time, the airport security personnel also rushed over, and the head supervisor wiped the sweat from his forehead. Student Liemo, you should board the plane first. The passengers nearby are rushing over here. Liemo nodded. He didn't expect that scientists have become stars these days. On the plane, Liemo leaned against the window and fell asleep. Zia King took a blanket and gently put it on him. I think this girl is good, her father. Liemo's mother saw this scene and said while drinking juice. Liemo's father looked at the small table in front of her, which was full of food, and nodded helplessly. New task completed. In the haze, Liemo heard a voice in his mind. The task is completed. He gently called in his heart, Pajero. A pink learning machine appeared in front of him. Task, boy, get the recognition of the world. Explanation, academic reputation is an invisible force. It represents the degree of attention your work has received in the world. Requirements: win an international award. Progress. 100% reward. 100,000 subject experience points, already issued. 1 ordinary lottery. Liemo clicks on the attribute 1. Mathematics level. 6. 101, 500 over 500, 000. 2. Physics level. 4. 2, hundredths, 000. 3. Chemistry level. 0, 0 hundredths. 4. Biology level. 4, 2, hundredths, 000. 5. Intelligence level. 4 available points. 100,000. Because of the special mission of 912, different fuels emit different energies during the combustion process of the rocket engine's fuel, and the combustion forms are also different, so this time he decided to add experience to the chemistry subject. Attribute table after upgrading 1. Mathematics level. 6. 10,1500/500,000. 2. Physics level. 4. 2,000/100,000. 3. Chemistry level 4. 2,000/100,000. 4. Biology level. 4. 2,000/100,000. 5. Intelligence level. 4 available points. 0 system prompt. Congratulations on winning a regular lottery opportunity. Do you want to draw now? Start the lottery immediately. Prizes of the lottery wheel. 1. A space class super light cruise ship. 2. An antimatter thruster. 3. A diamond asteroid. 4. 2 small pieces of pure crystals. 5. A chemical molecular analyzer. 6. Energy coffee X10. Liemo no longer coveted these prizes. He gently turned the big turntable, and the pointer turned rapidly. Congratulations on winning a chemical molecular analyzer. A white instrument appeared in front of him. Did you win the jackpot this time? He touched the instrument with his hand. A line of text appeared in the air. Instructions. This product comes from carbon-based civilization number 212,189. It can analyze the chemical composition of substances. Note. 1. This product is a one-time product. 2. This product may cause. Chapter 180 General Killer. Question time. Last time, Liemo asked about the first half of Big Head Pajero's life, and felt the helplessness of an ordinary person in a high-level civilized society. The question he wants to ask this time is about the conflict of civilizations. The conflict of civilizations is an eternal topic in the universe. Someone once said that life is a miracle of the universe, but also a flaw of the universe. To a certain extent, Liemo agrees with this statement. In the universe, civilizations have fought countless wars and created countless epic characters in order to compete for space, breeding grounds, and resources, and even because the appearance of other civilized creatures does not meet the aesthetic standards. Liemo asked, who is the most famous war maniac in the history of your Pajero civilization? On the high platform Grey Fog rolled. It seemed a bit difficult for Big Head Pajero to reveal the war history of his own civilization in front of another civilized creature. Is my question a foul? Liemo asked. No foul. Big Head Pajero sighed deeply and said, the history of civilization of our Pajero is actually the history of war. We have experienced countless wars over millions of years, and there have been hundreds of generals listed in the Monument of Civilization. Of course, the word general is translated according to your Chinese. What is the Monument of Civilization? Is it a record of the names of people who have contributed to civilization? Liemo was confused. Our historians once ranked these generals, with General Killer at the top. He was active 100,000 years ago, when the Pajero civilization was expanding outward. General Killer was not the general who expanded the most territory, nor was he the general who killed the most enemies. Even until the last moment of his life, he was just an unknown squadron leader. That was during the 5th Night Moon War. The Night Moon clan was a single matrix silicon-based civilization. Since our two clans met at the edge of the galaxy more than 200,000 years ago, there have been 4 large-scale wars. Comparing the technological levels of the two civilizations, our Pajero clan is obviously superior to the Night Moon civilization, so in the early wars, we drove the Night Moon clan out of the edge of the galaxy several times. The Academy of Sciences also had the idea of killing them all, but the universe is vast, and a civilization that develops to level 3 or above often has many hidden planets. The Pajero army sent out probes to search countless times, but failed to find the base camp of the Night Moon clan. So every 1,000 years, the Night Moon clan's mechanics, who have recovered their strength, will reappear at the edge of the galaxy. Unlike silicon-based civilizations, our carbon-based civilization is too restricted by the universe. As long as silicon-based civilizations have enough energy, they can continuously produce new armies. The fragile ecosystem of carbon-based civilizations has seriously restricted the development of military power. After 4 major wars, the military strength of the Pajero civilization has been exhausted, and the population of the civilization has declined to the lowest level in history. Countless young people have died on the front lines of the war, and there are only more than 100 of the most powerful cosmic-class battleships left. Just then, the vanguard of the Night Moon clan appeared again. In order to preserve its strength, the Academy of Sciences issued an order for everyone to retreat. Countless resource planets were abandoned, and all the Pajeros retreated back to the vicinity of their home planet. Those abandoned resource planets had the energy to sustain the war. In hindsight, this was one of the few mistakes made by the Academy of Sciences in history. But this mistake almost ruined the Pajero civilization. The mechanical troops of the Night Moon clan came from afar in an endless stream. They occupied those resource planets and directly used the material energy on them for their own use. Thus more mechanical troops were born. We Pajero people can only hold on to the Pajero galaxy. A low-speed light belt has been built on the outer edge of the galaxy. The Night Moon people who rashly fall into the light belt will lose their ability to move. This is also the last defense of our Pajero people. Unfortunately, we were all wrong. All individual units in a single mother silicon-based civilization only follow orders from the mother body. Hundreds of millions of Night Moon mechanics stepped into the low-speed light belt without fear. They tried to fill this trap with individuals. Unfortunately, this simple and violent method is very effective. It is expected that in 500 years, they will be able to break through the low-speed light belt, and then they will face the Pajero people who have no resistance. Just when all the Pajero people were praying for their own fate, the Night Moon mechanics outside the low-speed light belt all lost their ability to move. This made the desperate Pajero people very happy. After the Academy of Sciences confirmed that this was not a trap, the Pajero army went out in full force to recover the lost ground. Along the way, they only encountered Night Moon mechanics who had lost their ability to move, which means that all the invading Night Moon troops died miraculously. Kindness is the most lacking quality in the universe. The Academy of Sciences ordered all Pajero troops to head straight for the home of the Night Moon civilization. At this time, an encrypted message was transmitted from afar to the Pajero planet. The message is still preserved in the Pajero Museum. It is General Killer's last words. It turned out that after the outbreak of the war, Captain Killer did not have time to retreat, and his planet was occupied by the Night Moon mechanics. The overwhelming mechanics greedily took the energy crystals on the planet. Captain Killer is not a planetary defense force. The real mission of the squadron he led is to keep the stored empty vector weaks. The visionary Academy of Sciences has long dispersed Pajero's top weapons in various corners of the galaxy, guarded by loyal Pajero soldiers. Captain Killer is such a loyal soldier. After finding himself in danger, he did not panic, but used strong magnetic shielding to capture several Night Moon mechanics who came to search alive, and took out their Night Moon central processing chips. A magical thing happened. Captain Killer, carrying the Night Moon central processing chip that had lost its energy, swaggered onto the Night Moon clan spaceship without even encountering any questioning. After boarding the spaceship, they did not choose to flee. Instead, they found the Night Moon clan's base camp, based on the spaceship's flight records. It is on a dwarf planet at the edge of the galaxy. Too bold. Killer is bold, and the Night Moon clan is also bold. For thousands of years, the Pajero army has traveled hundreds of light years across hundreds of light years to find the base camp of the Night Moon clan. Unexpectedly, they were hiding on a dwarf planet so close. It is said that when the elders of the Academy of Sciences saw this, several of them exploded on the spot. The scene returns to Captain Killer, carrying the Night Moon Central Processing Chip and the Pajero weapons he protected, used the Night Moon spaceship to head to the dwarf planet. The spacecraft successfully arrived at the periphery of the dwarf planet and found that the dwarf planet was covered by densely packed Night Moon mechanics who were ready to go. Through the tiny gap in the space, Captain Killer found that the surface of the dwarf planet was covered with metal, which was exactly the metal used by the Night Moon mechanics to regenerate. It turned out that the entire dwarf planet had been occupied by the Night Moon mother body. Faced with this situation, Captain Killer made a great decision, which was to activate the weapons he carried with him. Before the weapons took effect, he sent this message. According to the guidance of the information, the Pajero army arrived at the coordinates of the dwarf planet, which was already covered with dense elemental particles, indicating that what Captain Killer said was true. So the Academy of Sciences awarded him the title of General and engraved his name on the Monument of Civilization. Chapter 181, a business card. Mission, young man, graduate. Explanation. There are many starting points and ending points in a person's life. Sometimes the ending point is also a starting point. Try your best to reach the ending point in order to reach a new starting point. Requirements. Get a master's degree in mathematics. Rewards. 100,000 subject experience points, 1 ordinary lottery. Time limit. 30 days. Accept. Yes/no. Is this graduation? He hasn't really taken a few classes this semester. Although Professor Wu accepted him as a student, he didn't learn any mathematics knowledge from the teacher. But he still silently clicked to accept. He knew that, if he followed the normal progress of life, he would never see the day when he completed all the system tasks. Life is short. Maybe he was tired. Thinking about this, Liemo fell into a deep sleep in the fog. I don't know how long it took. Liemo, wake up, the plane has landed. He was woken up by King in a half asleep state. He stretched his waist. He hadn't had such a good rest for a long time. He felt that even the bed in a 5-star hotel was not as comfortable as sleeping on the plane this time. It's still better to have your own country. As soon as you land, you feel at ease. Liemo's father, who had hardly spoken all the way, said after getting off the car, "Yes, I feel the same way. I'm always nervous outside." Liemo's mother agreed for once. "Carry my bag too." She hung her shoulder bag on Liemo's father, who was already carrying several bags. The group left the airport in the bustle. Welcome the winner of the Able Prize to return with honor. A huge banner was hung at the exit, and a group of people were waiting under the banner. Here they are, Liemo and Professor Wu. A sharp-eyed student shouted in surprise. The welcoming crowd gathered around, and a middle-aged man wearing gold-rimmed glasses and a well-tailored suit walked in front. It's Liao Zhang. He is the vice president of the school, mainly responsible for student affairs. Professor Wu was very familiar with the visitor and explained. Vice President Zhang extended his hand with a smile on his face. Welcome the winner of the Able Prize, to return home with honors. You are the pride of our Yanda University. Liemo also extended his hand. I don't deserve it. These are just the foils of my peers. And my name is Liemo, and it's on the school's roster. A haze slid across Vice President Zhang's face, but he immediately put on a smile again. Student Liemo just likes to joke. Now your name has spread all over the country. We are proud to have students like you at Yanda University. Old Zhang, I have been standing here for so long, and I haven't seen you say hello. Are you hoping that I will die on the plane? At this time, Professor Wu saw that the atmosphere between the two was a little subtle and interrupted. This President Zhang is a good communicator. He is worried that Liemo will offend him and be punished. Old Wu, I didn't see you at the last meeting, and I thought you were sick. Vice President Zhang's face was full of smiles. Then I saw you on TV. You know what? You look very handsome on TV. You don't look like a man who is about to retire. Don't you think so, Old Wu? Professor Wu glanced at him. Old Zhang, this is just that you don't understand. We scholars don't have the concept of retirement. I plan to join the school committee next year. When the time comes, I hope you will support me a lot. Hearing this, Vice President Zhang couldn't hold on to the smile on his face anymore. President Zhang, Shall we take a group photo first? At this time, a student stepped forward to remind him. Liemo found that President Zhang had brought a reporter from the newspaper with him, and there was a cameraman holding a SLR behind him. The smile climbed onto Vice President Zhang's face again. Student Liemo, let's take a group photo. This is also to promote our Yanda. Liemo couldn't refuse this reason. He found that these people with high emotional intelligence can always find reasons that ordinary people can't refuse. Eggplant. The photographer looked at the film. Okay. The group photo was taken. Vice President Zhang said, for you, the school has sent cars to welcome foreign guests. Please come in. Liemo. An MPV with an ugly front stopped in front of them. How is it? This car is still comfortable. This kind of nanny car is popular abroad now. It is said that each car will cost 300,000 yuan more. Vice President Zhang said with some boasting. TSK, buying a car also costs more. I think it's a waste of money. 300,000 yuan is enough for the down payment of a house. Liemo's mother said, while touching the leather armrest on the seat. It seems that people in big cities are a bit stupid. Vice President Zhang. School gate. Hundreds of students gathered at the school gate, surrounding a gray-haired old man. The old professor is here too. Professor Wu saw the old man through the car window and showed a surprised expression on his face. Liemo did not know this old man. There was only one person in Yanda who was worthy of Professor Wu's attention. Could it be that person? He cast a puzzled look at the teacher. Professor Wu nodded, confirming his guess. Liemo's heartbeat suddenly accelerated, because this old professor can be said to be a living fossil in the Chinese mathematics community. He has countless students throughout his life, and has supported the Chinese mathematics community with his own strength. Now there are 2 more students who are in the limelight, and have made a name for themselves in the United States, and become top names in the international mathematics community. Since Liemo entered Yanda, he has only heard of his legend, and has never seen him in person. Unexpectedly, he got what he wanted today. As soon as the car was stable, Liemo opened the door, and ran to the old man, bowing deeply. I didn't expect to be greeted by you personally. I'm very grateful. The white-haired old man smiled kindly. You deserve this treatment for bringing glory to the country. I didn't expect that after I left Yanda for 2 years due to health reasons, such a genius would emerge in the school. Liemo said modestly, my achievements are not worth mentioning in front of you. It's really embarrassing for me to say that. The old man shook his head. Don't be too modest. Even my 2 useless students are far inferior to you at your age. Liemo knew that the 2 useless students he was talking about were the 2 who had become Ivy League professors. They were also known as the best mathematicians who came out of China this year. Who is your teacher? The old man asked again. It's Professor Wu. He recruited me directly from high school to Yanda. Liemo answered honestly. Is Zhao Wu here? The old man looked around. Professor Wu, who had never been called Zhao Wu, smiled as if he had eaten honey. He ran over. Teacher, I'm here. I didn't expect that you are not good at academics, but your eyesight is not bad. This student is probably not taught by you, right? The old man asked with a smile. Professor Wu was not angry and replied respectfully, Teacher, although Liemo follows me, I really haven't taught him anything. The old man said, if I snatch your student, you won't be angry, right? Professor Wu said with a righteous face, of course not, he can only show his true level by following you. The old man smiled and shook his head. It's a pity that I'm old and can't take disciples. If it were 5 years earlier, I would have snatched him away at all costs. Now it's the era of you young people. Then, he turned his head and said to Liemo, who was standing aside, honestly, although I can't accept you as a disciple, you can come to me directly if you have any problems in the future. I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. After he finished speaking, the staff beside him handed over a business card. The teachers around him all showed envious eyes. The business card attracted everyone's eyes, as if it was a key to the future. I didn't expect you to catch the eye of Mr. Zun. You are not an ordinary guy. Professor Wu said with some jealousy. Liemo didn't know whether to laugh or cry when his teacher envied him. Teacher, you are not bad either. You are also a well-known figure in the academic world. Professor Wu shook his head, but I can't compare with Mr. Zun. He can give you more resources. Even if you work on a vague topic for your whole life, no one will say anything. Platform, do you know? Professor Wu was disappointed with this student who didn't understand the world. Chapter 182, Kingda Conflict. Li Mo's parents went back to Mengcheng after he arrived at Yanjing University. Although he invited them to stay in Yanjing for a while, they were homesick and decided not to delay their son's life here. The biggest feeling of the trip to Norway was that their son had grown up and they could retire. Before leaving, the stingy mother of Li Mo secretly bought a pair of gold bracelets for Xiaoqing, which made Xiaoqing smile from ear to ear. Look at the bracelets that auntie gave me. They are so beautiful. The workmanship is so solid. Xiaoqing couldn't let go of the bracelets. Indeed, this pair of gold bracelets has no hollow design or carvings. It weighs more than 100 grams. It can only be described as solid workmanship. Li Mo shook his head helplessly beside him. Unexpectedly, his mother, who has always been stingy, was willing to spend so much money on gold bracelets. Li Mo felt that he still couldn't understand the thoughts of the older generation. He originally planned to ask Professor Wu about graduation after returning to school, but after the incident of Zion Leo accepting apprentices at the school gate, Li Mo decided to delay graduation. He knew that, although Professor Wu acted very generous, he would be reluctant to let him go in his heart. After all, they also had 2 years of mentorship. At this time, he received a call from Professor Wu. The professor, who was always cheerful, seemed to be hesitant on the phone. Could it be that the teacher was reluctant to let him go? This made Li Mo curious, and he hurried to the office of the professor of the Department of Mathematics. When he opened the door, Professor Wu was frowning and answering the phone. He saw Li Mo coming in and put down the phone. Li Mo is here. Professor Wu smiled. Please sit down. The teacher has something to ask you. Li Mo had never seen Professor Wu like this before. He was flattered and said, Teacher, please tell me if you have something to say. It's like this. The School of Mathematics of Tsinghua University is going to invite you to give a speech. Professor Wu's face was a little red. The School of Mathematics of Tsinghua University? The School of Mathematics, where you sell magazines? Li Mo thought he had heard it wrong. At the beginning, Professor Wu blocked the door of the Department of Mathematics of Tsinghua University to sell books, which caused a sensation. If he appeared in Yanda, he was afraid that those students would tear him to pieces. Yes, I have agreed for you. Professor Wu's face turned redder. You still agreed? Li Mo felt that the sun must have risen from the west today. Professor Wu took the initiative to get up and pour a cup of tea for Li Mo. It's mainly because Professor Zhang of Qingdao University speaks so nicely. He is my lifelong enemy. He called you the best graduate student in China and me the best graduate tutor in China. After so many years, this is the first time I have surpassed him. This teacher is too unreliable. Doesn't he know that after the book selling incident, their attempt has become the foundation of the School of Mathematics of Tsinghua University? Li Mo frowned and asked, so you sold me out? Professor Wu said embarrassedly, who made you my student? You can't just watch the teacher go back on his word. Besides, Qingdao University is a first-class university in China. It would be good for you to go there for an exchange. Li Mo. When? He agreed reluctantly. To be honest, he really wanted to go to the school that was as famous as Yan University to take a look. Professor Wu took out his cell phone and checked the time. It'll be in 2 hours. This is Professor Zhang's phone number. Call him when you get there. Only 2 hours? Maybe it's a wise decision to escape from the clutches of Professor Wu. Li Mo thought to himself. The architectural style of Qingdao University is very different from that of Yanda University. If Yanda University combines modernity and retro style, then the office building of Tsinghua University is full of advanced design style. Boss, will we really not be beaten? Xiaoqing followed Li Mo step by step, looking at the strange looks from the passing Tsinghua University students. Look, it's Li Mo, the one who just won the Abel Prize. Really, I heard that the School of Mathematics lost face last time. That's right, that professor was almost besieged. I heard that Li Mo is a student of the professor who made trouble. I didn't expect him to dare to come here. Look at the direction he's going. It seems to be the School of Mathematics. Great man, let's go and watch the fun. Some Tsinghua University students who had nothing to do followed Liemo one after another. Unconsciously, when he arrived at the entrance of the School of Mathematics, a lot of people had gathered behind him. Liemo turned around and said with a smile, "I'm sorry, I'm not here to mess things up today. I'm sorry to disappoint everyone. TSK, you're here to mess things up. Let your teacher apologize. Yes, let your teacher apologize. Apologize. Apologize." For a moment, the crowd was boiling, and even several boys rolled up their sleeves to show their well-built muscles. Seeing this, Xia King silently blocked in front of Liemo. Liemo smiled slightly, took out his mobile phone and dialed the number given by Professor Wu. "Hello, Professor Wang, I'm Liemo, a student of Teacher Wu. I'm downstairs in the office building of your School of Mathematics now." The boys in front showed suspicious eyes. Could it be that a teacher in the school really invited this public enemy to come? They couldn't make up their minds for a while. "Brother Hui, do you want to give these guys a full body bath first?" A boy ran from a distance panting with 2 large bottles of mineral water. This is a good time for him to show his face and let Kaina see who is the real man. Xia King took 2 steps forward and faced the tall boy directly. She couldn't let the boss behind her get hurt at all. The leading student frowned and thought for a while before waving his hand. "Don't worry, what if he is really invited by the school? Wait and see. Tsinghua University's school rules are also very strict. If he is really invited by the school and a small conflict occurs and he is treated as a violation of discipline by the school, it would be a case of losing more than gaining." "What are you doing here?" A teacher with bright hair came down from upstairs. Seeing this scene, he hurriedly stepped forward and shouted angrily, "Teacher, this student is the student of the professor from Yan University who came to our School of Mathematics to make trouble last time. He dared to show up here. We want to have a discussion with him." The leader, Brother Hui, had no fear on his face. No matter who said that his behavior was to protect the reputation of the school. Liemo watched their performance silently from the side. This teacher should be Professor Wang. Professor Wang's face was livid. "Discuss? Are you discussing? Why don't you discuss academics with Liemo? Do you dare?" He really hated the iron for not being able to make steel. This time he invited this public enemy to come just to let the students of the School of Mathematics understand one thing. But now this situation has occurred. When it comes to academic exchanges, the students who are surrounding him are silent. They think they are not qualified to exchange academic ideas with this Abel Prize winner. Professor Wang was furious. "I will notify the Student Affairs Office and give you a warning." The surrounding students showed fear on their faces. Warnings must be recorded in the files. Seeing this scene, Liemo walked forward and said with a smile, "In fact, they are also trying to protect the honor of Tsinghua University. Young people are at the age of full blood. I think we should just let it go. They are all proud children of heaven. A punishment will affect their future." Professor Wang showed a surprised look. He thought the young man would be resentful, but he didn't expect him to be so reasonable. He said, "Since classmate Liemo pleaded for you, let's just let it go today. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels." Chapter 183 Professional Attitude. Qingdao University Mathematics College Meeting Room. The meeting room that can accommodate 100 people was packed. Of course, Qingdao University Mathematics College has more students, but those who can attend this meeting are all outstanding students, and some of them are even the champions of this year's college entrance examination. Liemo walked up to the podium, and before he could speak, "Excuse me, Liemo, you are just a master's student. What qualifications do you have to teach us Qingdao University students?" A boy wearing glasses stood up. "Is the teaching level of Yan University much higher than that of Qingdao University? Qingdao University and Yan University are the most powerful comprehensive universities in China. The two schools are equally strong and have made progress together. providing countless valuable talents for the revitalization of China. Precisely because the strength of the two schools is equally strong, no one is convinced by the other. Liemo once heard a joke. Nanman Bai roast duck. Two gangs quarreled over a trivial matter. One gang claimed to be from Qingdao University, and the other gang claimed to be from Yan University. After the quarrel and dinner, the gang that claimed to be from Qingdao University returned to Yan University, and the gang that claimed to be from Yan University returned to Qingdao University. The tension between the students of the two schools can be seen from this. I remember that Qingdao University has always been at the top of the national university rankings. The boy with glasses became more interested when he saw that there were more people around him. The students in the audience were also talking about it. They didn't have a good impression of Yan University. Liemo thought to himself that the newcomer was not friendly. He said, "This student has made two mistakes. First, although I'm just a graduate student, I'm also the discoverer of the Black Star and the winner of the Abel Prize. I think I'm qualified to stand here, right? The discoverer of the Black Star and the winner of the Abel Prize. These two honors are enough for the young man on the podium to kill most professors in the academic world in seconds." And the noise in the audience became smaller and smaller. Second, there must be a teacher among three people. This sentence is from the elementary school Chinese textbook. The proud children present here will not forget it, right? He scanned the venue with sharp eyes, and those students did not dare to meet his gaze, and lowered their heads. I came to Qingdao University just to exchange learning experiences. If any student feels that it is a waste of time, you can leave early. The venue was silent, and no students left. Although they were very dissatisfied with Liemo, it was not easy to hear the learning experience of an Abel Prize winner. Since no one left, I will start. Liemo picked up a piece of chalk and drew a heart pattern on the blackboard behind him. Before I start, I would like to ask you why you choose to study mathematics. I hope you can answer the question truthfully. He pointed to a girl in the front row. Can you tell me? The girl saw that she was called and stood up reluctantly and answered, "Because mathematics is very interesting." "Okay, thank you. Please sit down." Liemo called another boy. "Because I'm good at mathematics," the boy said arrogantly. Liemo returned to the podium and said seriously, "Through the questions, I roughly know the reasons why everyone chooses to study mathematics. The first reason is for hobby. The second reason is for future prospects. The third reason is that they think mathematics is easy to learn." He looked around the audience with sharp eyes and said condescendingly, "For students with the first and second reasons, I suggest that you go directly to work after graduating from college. There is no need to continue your studies." The students in the audience looked at each other in bewilderment. This statement was really unheard of. A thin girl wearing thick glasses and a ponytail raised her hand timidly. Liemo nodded. "Student, please speak." The thin girl asked nervously, "Isn't it said that hobby is the greatest teacher? Because we love mathematics, we can swim freely in the ocean of mathematics. Why don't you suggest that students who love mathematics continue their studies?" It seems that this girl is a real mathematics lover. Liemo looked at her with interest and asked, "How do you think the difficulty of undergraduate mathematics is?" The thin girl's face was gloomy. "It's very difficult. I have to stay in the study room from morning to night every day to keep up with everyone. But I won't give up. I must achieve good results in mathematics because I like it so much. Those numbers are so amazing." Liemo shook his head and said patiently, "Edison has a famous saying that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. This sentence has encouraged countless people. But there is another paragraph behind this sentence, but that 1% inspiration is often more important than 99% perspiration." The thin girl was stunned. Liemo continued, "Mathematics is the subject that requires the most talent. It is the outburst of human inspiration and wisdom. If you are studying for your future and hobby, and you do not have a talent for mathematics, the mathematics knowledge you learned at the undergraduate level is enough. In the field of mathematics, most mathematical achievements are made by mathematicians before the age of 30. Euler, Abel, Gauss, etc. all made achievements that normal people cannot reach when they were young. If you think you can succeed by hard work, this will not work in the academic world of mathematics. So, for everyone's future and to save national education funds, I advise you to think twice. Liemo looked at the sad expression of the thin girl. It's hard to be a bad person. Of course, what I mean is that you should not make mathematics your life goal. You have graduated and have a job. If you really like mathematics, you can also study it. After all, studying mathematics is the most economical, as long as you have enough food. After hearing his words, the audience burst into laughter. Mathematics is indeed a subject that requires the least investment. A piece of paper, a pen, and a genius can give birth to a mathematical theory that shocks the world. But this genius is often the rarest. Seeing that the atmosphere had eased, Liemo turned around and erased the pattern on the blackboard. He wrote a new word, special. If you want to make some achievements in mathematics, you need to take a professional attitude. He decided to share his experience in studying mathematics with these talented people. Hearing Liemo start to share the dry goods, the students in the audience also listened attentively because they knew that such an opportunity was hard to come by. What is a professional attitude? Liemo looked around. Just to solve this problem, how much are you willing to pay? Is it less sleep, or one less game? Is it one less warm phone call with your girlfriend, or one less trip? I can tell you that the first time I solved a math problem, I didn't sleep for 7 days and 7 nights. The students in the audience showed admiration. The master is worthy of being a master. So hard. Of course, this is just a metaphor. I'm not asking you to stay awake for 7 days. Liemo added, if you want to make achievements in the field of mathematics, you must have the determination to give up everything. Chapter 184 Artificial Intelligence Programming. Boss, why do you want to discourage them, especially the little girl, who is so pitiful? Did she do anything wrong? King asked, while sitting in the car. People were coming and going outside the car window. Everyone was working hard for a living. The ideal was beautiful, but the reality was cruel. Liemo said, she was not wrong. She chose the wrong direction. Maybe she will be grateful for today's decision in a few years. King was thoughtful. This young boss always said something thought-provoking. Now Liemo suddenly found that working hard seemed to be a common thing for him. On the first day back to Yanda, he began to retreat. Although the dedicated assistant King always criticized him for playing with his life by working hard. In fact, even if Liemo did not do it deliberately, his desire to solve the problem prompted him to do so. The task entrusted by 912 was imminent. What an excellent rocket engine meant was self-evident. Liemo felt that his shoulders were full of pressure at this time. This feeling always reminds him of the first time he tried to solve the Collatz conjecture. At that time, he always felt that there was a big stone in his heart. If he couldn't solve it, he wouldn't even have the motivation to go to the playground to play. In essence, this desire to explore the unknown seems to be the same. Now turbulence is the unknown he needs to explore. The Navier-Stokes equations that describe turbulent phenomena were born in the 19th century. It is based on the classical Newtonian system and can theoretically measure the movement of any fluid when the initial conditions are known. However, there has always been a big problem. It is a nonlinear partial differential equation, which is very difficult to solve. There is no mathematical tool that can solve these equations. It is difficult to solve, and it is impossible to solve it by human power. Liemo stared at the complex mathematical equations on the draft. This is the equation he summarized, based on the data provided by the 912 rocket geek. It is an extended version of the Navier-Stokes equation, which can more accurately describe what happened in the rocket ignition chamber. The difficulty of these equations is that there are too many unknown conditions, and it is also difficult to propose initial conditions. From the perspective of stochastic mathematics, turbulence is a typical problem of sensitive dependence on initial conditions. If there is a slight deviation in the initial conditions, then there may be a significant difference in the solution of the equation. Perhaps this problem can be solved by direct numerical simulation. He felt a burst of inspiration in his mind, because fluids in general are considered to be continuous media. That is, any small fluid particle contains a large enough number of molecules, so the fluctuation of molecules has almost no effect on the movement of the fluid particle itself. so the most accurate numerical method can be used to solve these complex equations. With a goal in mind, Liemo was in high spirits. He turned on the computer. What he needed now was to make a computer program that could run the full numerical simulation of DNS. Zaha, are you there? He woke up the artificial intelligence program again. If there was anyone who was most competent for the task of making a program, it would be the intelligent program written by the alien program. The cursor on the screen flashed. Master, I'm here. Can you make a complex computer program? Liemo typed on the computer. Zaha, of course. But in order to better match the program with the needs, the master needs to authorize Zaha to access the human internet. Liemo hesitated. This was not the first time that artificial intelligence had proposed such a condition, but he thought that Zaha's memory would be deleted after completing the task. He typed on the computer, authorization approved. This authorization is limited to accessing computer programming knowledge. Zaha, authorization approved. Computer programming knowledge is being acquired. The network light of the alien laptop kept flashing. Liemo took advantage of this free time to lie on the chair and close his eyes. The knowledge acquisition was completed much faster than he expected. 2 hours later, he was awakened by the sound coming from the computer speakers. Zaha, master, computer programming knowledge has been acquired and is being optimized. Optimization is complete. Please enter the data you need to analyze, and Zaha will make an application based on this data. Now all he needs to do is enter these experimental data into the computer. Liemo frowned as he looked at the densely packed manuscripts at hand. There was no way. Turbulence is not so much a mathematical problem as it is a numerical problem. Entering these data and their mathematical logical relationships into the computer is a vast project in itself. 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, sunrise, sunset. After typing the last number, Liemo was about to stretch his body comfortably when a line of words appeared on the computer that attracted his attention. Zaha, master, according to the optimized laptop CPU computing power, it will take 4,500 hours to analyze this data. 4,500 hours? Isn't that more than 200 days? Liemo only realized, now that he had ignored the complexity of turbulence. Compared with some super projects, these data may not be much, but there are intricate structural relationships between them, and the computing power of the laptop CPU is simply not up to the task. No, it's too long. The design of the rocket engine can't wait that long. Zaha, can you shorten the time? Liemo typed. Zaha, maybe I can use some other means, but the master needs to authorize me to access the external network. Liemo then remembered that during the development of the giant body, Zaha had captured medical records from foreign hospitals through the internet. The only way to obtain computing power through the internet is to control some foreign supercomputers, treat them as broilers, and calculate your own programs. Is Zaha really planning this? Doesn't she know that most of those foreign supercomputers adopt physical defense measures? Foreign supercomputer centers all use hard backup methods, writing the programs to be calculated into supercomputers through hard disk loading methods, and these computers are not connected to the internet. Even the most skilled hackers are powerless in the face of physical defense, so the world has never heard of the supercomputer being hacked. Thinking of this, he typed on the keyboard, Zaha, do you have the technology to break through physical defense? The cursor flickered, and Zaha flickered. It's not technology, it's opportunity. Regardless of whether it is technology or opportunity, it is a good solution to solve the problem, and artificial intelligence will not lie to its master. Liemo typed, authorize Zaha to access foreign networks. The time limit procedure is completed. Zaha, authorization approved. Data is being sorted. Looking at the cursor on the computer, Liemo knew that this was not something that could be completed in a short time. Thinking of the system tasks requirement for early graduation, he decided to read the biology books required for undergraduate studies again. Chapter 185 Titan's Abnormality in the United States is located in a corner of the laboratory. It is an independent building. The wire mesh separates it from everything around it. The soldiers with live ammunition at the gate silently tell the special nature of this building. Jimmy is an ordinary staff member of the laboratory. He has been working with this computing monster since he graduated from college. The computing monster is the name he gave to the Titan supercomputer. In Jimmy's eyes, it is a monster that devours countless energy and occasionally spits out a few boring numbers. Every device and every staff member here, including Jimmy, is just a screw on the computing monster. Jimmy is very satisfied to be able to work here. His job is very easy. When there is no computing task, he is responsible for checking the monitoring lights installed in the computing monster's body. If there is a problem with any light, he only needs to call the maintenance department. When there is a computing task, he only needs to mount the mobile encryption disk at the mouth of the computing monster. Of course, the fact that a college student can get such a well-paid position has a lot to do with his background. Jimmy's father is a professional soldier, and his brother died in overseas wars. So although Jimmy's education and ability are mediocre, he can get this job with a monthly salary of more than 5 figures. The only thing he is not satisfied with is the military management method adopted here. Mobile phones, tablets, and even computers cannot be connected to the internet. Mobile storage devices without specific chips installed are prohibited from being brought in. On days without tasks, he can only chat with several engineers in their 50s. In his opinion, these nerds are too boring. It's okay if they don't watch movies or listen to music. What Jimmy can't accept the most is that they don't watch cartoons. Don't they know that One Piece is the best cartoon in the world? The biggest advantage of staying in a place for a long time is that you can discover some unexpected secrets. Jimmy is the same. He found a forgotten computer in a utility room. This antique can still be turned on, which makes him overjoyed. Although this computer cannot be connected to the internet, it can mount a mobile encryption disk like other computers in the laboratory. This is enough for Jimmy. After finally getting off work, Jimmy quietly put a mobile encryption disk into his backpack in the corner of the laboratory and then said goodbye to those boring engineers as usual. Jimmy, off work. The soldier on duty saw him and took the initiative to greet him. Jimmy smiled and said, "Paco, you are on duty today. My father told me that you are getting married soon." The soldier Paco seemed to have ignored the normal security check procedures, opened the gate casually, and replied, "It will be next week. You and your father must come to the wedding." Of course. Jimmy walked out of the heavily guarded laboratory with his backpack on his back. As expected, the soldiers on duty here are mostly his father's former subordinates. For such an acquaintance, they will not check at all, and this mobile encryption disk will not trigger the alarm of the security check alarm, because it is equipped with a specific chip. So Jimmy does this once a week. He will save the latest One Piece episodes downloaded from the pirated website to the mobile hard disk at home, and then secretly hide in the utility room to watch them when he has free time. This time too, the One Piece that Jimmy had been looking forward to had been updated. He could not wait to open buy and start downloading. However, this time, he did not notice that the storage space occupied by the episodes of One Piece downloaded through BT was larger than usual. The next day, Jimmy came to the laboratory leisurely. Unlike the past, he happened to have a new task today. A pharmaceutical company needed Titan to analyze the chemical formula of a drug. It seems that I can't watch it today. He walked out of the laboratory with a mobile encryption disk. There was an office outside the door that was specially used for data handover. When he arrived, the staff of the pharmaceutical factory had already been waiting in front of the data handover machine. Jimmy was not worried about the One Piece episodes and the hard disk. He plugged the hard disk into the data switch interface and turned around and said, "Turn around. This is a confidential project." The staff of the pharmaceutical factory turned around. Titan's work content is always mysterious. As someone around Titan, Jimmy is naturally full of mystery. Jimmy input the secret key and copied the data into the mobile encrypted disk. Looking at the One Piece episode stored in it, he shook his head helplessly. "It seems that I can only watch it tomorrow." After completing the data handover task, Jimmy returned to the laboratory and mounted the encrypted disk on Titan. A program entered Titan's computing pool through the optical cable along with the data flow and deleted its own existence in the confidential disk, of course, including Jimmy's favorite One Piece episodes. Start the Titan supercomputer. As a staff member clicked the mouse, a buzzing sound came from the computer room, and various colored indicator lights flashed. The voltage is normal. The current is normal. The computer load is 10%. The computer load is 20%. The computer load is 80%. Several Titan operators looked at each other. According to the preset, this calculation will only use 70% of the computing power of the Titan supercomputer, but now the computer load has reached 80% and is still rising. Jimmy, check the indicator light of Titan. An operator shouted through the intercom. You can't handle it yourself, so you call me. Jimmy walked into the computer room reluctantly. What he hated most in the laboratory were these operators. Since he had a doctorate degree, he often looked down on undergraduates like Jimmy. However, he still carefully checked the various indicators in the computer room, because this was his job. A1 is normal, A2 is normal, and F12 is normal. Jimmy checked all the indicators and shouted into the intercom, all indicators are normal. A tense atmosphere was spreading in the control room. The option of emergency shutdown was placed in front of the operators, and they cast their inquiring eyes to the leader. The leading operator was sweating, hesitated for a moment, and shook his head. He wanted to wait a little longer. Computer load 90%. Computer load 91%. Computer load 95%. Computer load 95%. Finally, the computer load stopped climbing, and everyone breathed a sigh of relief, because the emergency shutdown meant that there was a flaw in their previous work. Everything is normal. After a careful inspection, they did not find any problems. The biggest problem is that there is no problem. The leading operator has decided to do a detailed inspection of all the equipment after the program is finished. After 48 hours, the program finally ran smoothly, and the data was downloaded to the mobile encryption disk through the optical fiber. Jimmy was about to leave the laboratory with the encryption disk. Jimmy, wait. An operator stopped him. You need to check the encryption disk in your hand. Any equipment connected to the supercomputer needs to be checked. This is the order from their boss. Jimmy's palms were sweating, and his legs trembled slightly. Did it get discovered? He tried his best to suppress his trembling hands and gently inserted the encryption disk into the computer next to him. The operator stared at the encryption disk and did not find anything unusual about Jimmy. He opened the encryption disk letter and checked it carefully. There was no suspicious program in the encryption disk except for the data similar to the chemical formula. No problem, send it out. When Jimmy heard this, he felt as if he had walked through hell. Where are those One Piece episodes? This thought hovered in his mind, but it was soon replaced by maybe it was deleted by Titan. Who can figure out what's going on in the computer? After the staff of the pharmaceutical factory copied the data through the data switch, they made sure that Jimmy had cleared the chemical formula data in the encrypted disk before leaving. Because this data is related to the development of new drugs worth hundreds of millions of dollars, it must not be leaked. Chapter 186 DNS Turbulence Computation Program. Xiaohe in the computer was calculating non-stop, while Liemo was reading a book beside him. This knowledge is too simple. He found that as his intelligence improved, his comprehension ability also improved. He only needed to read the knowledge and concepts in the book once to fully understand them. Maybe time has taken a small step forward. He made a decision in his heart. When Liemo saw the junior biology textbook, a line of words appeared on the computer. Xiaohe, data receiving. Could it be that the program has been completed? He checked the time and it only took 50 hours. Could it be that the artificial intelligence Xiaohe really invaded a supercomputer? Xiaohe, data received. Program size 1T has been stored in the computer F drive. Please check it, master. Liemo was not in a hurry to check the program, but typed in the computer. Xiaohe, did you hack into a supercomputer? The computer screen cursor flickered. Xiaohe, master, do you really want to know? Liemo thought for a moment and typed, I don't need to know. Command, encrypt the program. Xiaohe, the program is encrypted. Command, disconnect from the network. Command, delete all stored data. The computer cursor flickered. Xiaohe, yes, master. Goodbye, master. The computer hard drive indicator light flickered, and Liemo sighed deeply. Every time he deleted Xiaohe's memory, he always felt a little guilty. Open the computer F drive, and a 1T computer program appeared in front of him. Properties, rename, DNS turbulence calculation. After doing all this, Liemo stood up and checked the time. It was 1:30 in the evening. After hesitating for a moment, he still picked up the phone and dialed Brother Hay's number. The phone rang for 5 seconds and then connected. Liam did not speak immediately, but tapped the microphone lightly with his fingers. The confidential line has been switched. You can talk now. Hey Jez's voice came from the phone. Liam said, I have prepared what 91,247 needs. Now let him send the preparation data for the next experiment. I will inform him right away. Hey Je hung up the phone after he finished speaking. Although this is a confidential line, you should also pay attention to the call time. Liam put down the phone and picked up the biology textbook again. Papa. 3 hours later, there was a light knock on the door. It was not yet dawn. Is Hey Je so anxious? Liam stood up and found that Zaya King had already dressed neatly and looked at the closed door vigilantly. It may be Hey Je, take a look. Zaya King nodded, hid the hand holding the weapon behind her back, and slowly opened the door. It was Hey Je standing outside the door. After not seeing Hey Je for a few days, his hair was messy, his beard was untidy, and his eyes were sunken. Are you okay? Liam saw his appearance and asked with concern. Brother Hey handed over a USB flash drive and said in a dry voice, it's okay. I've been busy these days. This is what you need. The word is very magical in the Chinese language. Two directional words combined together can actually become a new word to describe things. Liam shook his head, thinking about something messy. He took out the USB flash drive and was about to say a few polite words. Brother Hey had already turned and left. Boss, he ran so far in the middle of the night just to give you this? Zaya King stared at the USB flash drive in his hand and asked curiously. Liam nodded. He now felt that he was still reckless and shouldn't order Brother Hey around in the middle of the night, even though Brother Hey never complained. It's still dark outside. I'll go back to my room and catch up on some sleep. Zaya King yawned. Liam returned to the room and inserted the USB flash drive into the alien notebook and opened the DNS turbulence calculation program. Click start full numerical simulation calculation. The notebook made a buzzing sound. 1%, 2%, 3%. Although the program is as large as 1T, the running progress is not slow. Liam decided to stare at the computer. 10%, 30%, 70%, 90%, 100%. Half an hour later, the program popped up the results of the full numerical simulation calculation. Liam looked at the time. 5:30 in the morning. He did not rush to inform Brother Hey this time. Let him rest for a while. 3 days later, the second universe laboratory, codenamed 91,247. Codenamed 91,247, stared at the rocket engine ready to ignite on the monitor. The igniter is normal. The monitor is normal. The sensor is normal. The data recording system is running normally. Teacher, the experiment can begin. A staff member in protective clothing walked to the camera to report. Codenamed 91,247 glanced at the USB flash drive on the desktop and ordered, the experiment begins. He wanted to see what kind of surprises the young man who was given high hopes by the old bastard could bring. Ignition. A spark burst out from the ignition chamber of the rocket engine, and the spark instantly ignited the entire ignition chamber, and the combustion chamber was filled with flames containing huge energy. This intricate heat flow, intertwined with each other. Can anyone really predict it? Code 91,247 was full of doubts, and now he could only wait for the experiment to be completed. Fortunately, the ignition experiment of the rocket engine did not take a long time. After the experiment, under his order, the staff on site gave priority to transmitting the experimental data. Experimental data. First wide angle, 11,219. USB data. First wide angle, 11,219. Experimental data. 3-point thrust, 11.212. USB data. 3-point thrust, 11.212. Experimental data. Projection value, 31. USB data. Projection value, 31. Exactly the same. The experimental data is exactly the same as the predicted data on the USB. It's really incredible. Code 91,247 widened his eyes. How did he do it? If someone told him now that this was data given by God, he would believe it, because these data are beyond human power. Great. He clenched his fists, and his confidence in this project was a little stronger. With accurate prediction data, the internal structure of the rocket engine can be modified according to the changes in airflow. Codename 91247 feels confident that he can design the most optimized rocket engine. Suspend the next ignition experiment. I want to redesen the engine ignition chamber. Codename 91247 issued a new command to the camera. The staff on the screen looked at each other. Redesen is not a trivial matter. It is related to the development process of the engine. Does the teacher have any new ideas? Teacher, the deadline of the project is approaching, and the experiments have been smooth these few times. These parameters are enough. Do we not need to redesen it? A staff member suggested boldly. What do you know? There is no such thing as enough engine power. Are we going to follow behind others forever? There can be no compromise in science. For the ignition chamber, I already have a new idea. Codename 91247 retorted. Chapter 187 Visiting Professor. Finally, I graduated. Liemo felt a little melancholy when he received the graduation certificate and degree certificate from Professor Wang. However, this melancholy did not stay in his heart for too long. After all, for him, he had already graduated when he received the Abel Prize from Professor Stormer at the Abel Prize ceremony in Norway. When he won the National Natural Science Award, it was because he accidentally discovered a new planet. To be honest, it was not an academic achievement, but the limo conversion and the Abel Prize were different. No school would allow an Abel Prize winner to exist only as a graduate student. Professor Wang looked at the young student. When he went to Mengcheng for an investigation, he did not expect that the young man would have such achievements today. He smiled and asked, "You have graduated from graduate school. What are you going to do next?" Liemo had an idea about this question. Many students who continue to study will choose a famous foreign school at this time. This will broaden their horizons. Not to mention, it will also be very impressive when they mention their graduate school in the future. However, this problem does not exist for him. With the learning assistance system, he does not need to study abroad. With the halo of the National Natural Science Award and the Abel Prize, he does not need to consider the issue of employment. He now just needs an environment where he can concentrate on academic research, and the environment of Yanda University, which he is familiar with, is perfect. Of course, he still has to study for a doctorate. After all, this degree is also very impressive. To study for a doctorate, you need a mentor. Otherwise, can you be a wild doctor? Thinking of this, Liemo smiled playfully. "I'm going to continue to study as your doctoral student, okay?" Professor Wang's face changed. In terms of the current academic achievements of this genius, not to mention domestic, there are not many doctoral supervisors who can be worthy of him even abroad. Under normal circumstances, when mentors meet talented students, they are eager to recruit talents. But when this student has already radiated light, they have to retreat, because in the future, it will be too embarrassing for the teacher to be less famous than the new student. Liemo is in this situation. If this well-known genius is defeated in his hands, he will be despised. Professor Wang showed a hesitant expression. "Why don't you think about it again? With my level, I feel a little." It was too embarrassing for a person to admit that his level was not good enough in front of his students. Liemo was mentally prepared for Professor Wang's excuse. He smiled and said, "Teacher, you forgot that I'm your graduate student." He raised the graduation certificate in his hand. Professor Wang's eyes lit up. Liemo's master's degree can be said to be self-taught. Maybe he knew what this student was thinking. "Okay, I will reluctantly accept you as a doctoral student, but you still need to rely on yourself in academics." Liemo nodded, and the old and the young smiled at each other. After leaving the Department of Mathematics, Liemo did not return to the dormitory immediately, but took his assistant Xiaoqing to the Student Affairs office, and borrowed a set of master's clothes from there. The styles of master's clothes and bachelor's clothes are not much different, except that the tassels of the bachelor's clothes are black, and the tassels of the master's clothes are blue. However, even if it is a subtle difference, it represents completely different meanings. After changing into his master's uniform, Liemo asked Xiaoqing to take several photos for him on campus. Occasionally, students who passed by and knew him also joined the group photo. The scenery of Yanda in this season is still very good. Liemo picked out the most handsome one and posted it on Weibo with a single line of title, "Finally graduated. Didn't the master just graduate? Look at the clothes. He should have graduated with a master's degree. Only one semester, and he graduated with a master's degree. The master is the master. Worship. Worship plus 1 worship plus 2 worship plus 10,086." Liemo looked at the netizens' replies, smiled slightly, turned off his phone, and left after the work was done, hiding his identity and name. Yanda conference room Vice President Zhao Feng held the microphone and looked at several principals in charge of logistics and infrastructure. He cleared his throat. "Since no one is willing to speak, let me throw out a brick to attract jade." He almost never spoke in such occasions, but his words attracted everyone's attention. The top leader of Yanda also nodded slightly to show encouragement. This semester, the charity committee received more than 20 million yuan in donations, and the amount of donations increased by 30%, ranking first among universities in the country. Zhao Feng introduced his achievements with a smile. The school leaders present were surprised. A 30% increase was unprecedented in the past. "President Zhao Feng has done a good job. Can you share your experience?" The top leader recognized his achievements. Zhao Feng said modestly, "What experience do I have? Everyone knows that we are engaged in charity work. If others are unwilling to donate, can we force them to donate?" His truthful words caused laughter in the room. Everyone knew that he was referring to something. Once a university was exposed for fundraising and became an international laughingstock. "Here I want to thank a classmate of Yanda University," Zhao Feng continued. "That is the Abel Prize winner, Liemo. He first donated 500,000 yuan to establish the Liemo Education Fund, and later added another 5 million yuan. This semester, 312 students from poor families have been helped. What's even more rare is that Liemo did not put forward any additional conditions." His words aroused discussion among the leaders attending the meeting. Donating more than 5 million yuan is rare in China. "Did Liemo donate the prize money he just won the Abel Prize?" asked a leader. "After conversion, the prize money is basically 5 million yuan. It should be. This young man is really worthy of our learning." The top leader of Yanda sitting on the stage asked, "I heard that this Abel Prize winner has graduated now. What do you think?" "It seems that he has applied for Professor Wang's doctorate again. He will stay in Yanda for the time being," the vice president in charge of academic affairs replied. They all understood what the president meant. Liemo, who became famous for winning the Abel Prize, actually had a better choice. As long as he was willing, countless top foreign universities would compete to extend olive branches. By then, Yanda would have failed to make any efforts. "I think Liemo's achievements and reputation are in line with our Yenching University visiting professor standards, right?" Vice President Zhao Feng took a quick look. "Visiting professor? Isn't this position too important? He is still a doctoral student. I don't think it's important. Once others go abroad to study, it will be difficult for you to invite them back." "That's right. The fact that he can donate so much money shows that Liemo is not a person who values money. We can only win him over with reputation." The audience discussed a lot for a while, and everyone's eyes fell on the top leader. Although this president is only in his 50s, his vigorous and resolute style has brought new atmosphere to the century-old Yenching University. "I think we can hire Liemo as a visiting professor of the Department of Mathematics, but don't arrange any teaching work." In the end, it was the top leader who made the final decision. Chapter 188 House. Me. Visiting professor? Liemo sat on the sofa in the office of the Academic Affairs Office, thinking he had misheard. "Yes, this is the appointment letter from the school." The director handed over a big red appointment letter. The big red appointment letter confirmed that he had not heard wrong, but this matter seemed a bit absurd. A doctoral student being a professor sounded very funny. And after becoming a visiting professor, how should he address his teacher, Professor Wang? "Hello Professor Wang. Hello Professor Li." This scene was too funny. "I'm sorry, I can't accept this invitation at the moment. I still need a lot of time to study." Liemo did not reach out. to take the appointment letter. The Dean of the Academic Affairs Office said, "The school knows, so they invited you as a visiting professor. The kind without teaching tasks." He took out a bunch of keys tied with red ropes. "And according to the Yanda High-End Talent Introduction Regulations, you will also get a 180 square meter finely decorated house. Here is the key to the house. This house is located on campus. It was personally selected for you by President Zhaofeng." Liemo immediately jumped up from the sofa and took the key and the letter of appointment with a happy face. "It doesn't matter whether it's a house or not. I just like to work for Yanda." Dean of the Academic Affairs Office, "What about the promise to treat money as dirt?" "This is the thing. I have become a professor at Yanda. This is our new home." Liemo opened the door of the new house and Zaya King rushed into the living room. The overall style of the house is modern and simple, with black, white, and grey as the main colors. The tabletop of the dining table is marble, and the white tabletop is combined with black metal legs. There is a vase on the tabletop, which is simple, elegant and generous. The designer's taste is still very good. Before coming, Liemo was still worried that, if the house was decorated in a golden and glittering local tyrant style, would he live in it or not? Too big. Zaya King took off her shoes and ran in the living room. "I want this room." Liemo looked at her like a child, smiled and shook his head. He opened the door of the study and sat at the desk. The chair was very comfortable. Buzz 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 buzz, the phone prompted a new message. Liemo clicked it. This was sent by the Cosmic Quantum Wave Detector in Xiaoshan Laboratory. Quantum fluctuations detected a suspected target, ID 11,316, distance 379,440 astronomical units, volume 65,890 m3, mass estimation. The target material is complex and cannot be estimated. Reminder, reminder, reminder. This target is similar to the exploration file ID 12,165 detection target and exploration file ID 11,210. Liemo frowned when he saw this message. Last time in Xiaoshan Laboratory, he reset the detection direction of the detector. Every once in a while, the detector will detect the small star once. He compared the three detection distances. The first detection distance 379,450 astronomical units. The second detection distance 379,445 astronomical units. The third detection distance 379,440 astronomical units. The content of this detection shows that after 2 months, this small celestial body is 5 astronomical units closer to the Earth. The speed of the small celestial body is too precise. If it is a meteorite affected by the gravity of a large celestial body, it will move in a curve, with an increase in speed when approaching the large planet and a decrease in speed when moving away from the large planet. There will definitely not be a uniform speed. According to its trajectory, this small celestial body is heading for the Earth. Maybe it is not a meteorite, then what is it? Just as he was thinking hard, Zaya King quietly covered his eyes from behind. "Look at what this is." Liemo felt that he could already smell the faint fragrance on her body, and his heart was hot. "Don't make trouble, Zaya King." Zaya King did not let go, but led him to a room. Ting 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 ting. Zaya King let go of her hand. "What do you think of this place?" A modern study room appeared in front of him. On the beige desk were 2 huge double screens. Behind them were a whole row of bookshelves. There were books by J. Rotman, Advanced Modern Algebra, by E. Stein, Princeton Lectures on Analysis, and by E. Moyes, Elementary Geometry from Modern Point of View. Even at the bottom of the bookshelf, Liemo found a yellowed book. This was Munker's Topology. This book was rarely published, but there was actually a copy here. Behind the desk was an ergonomic gaming chair. Liemo walked over and sat on it gently. It was soft and supportive, much better than the simple chair in his dormitory. On the flower stand by the window were green ivy, spider plants, spring feathers, monstera and water lilies. There was also a small balcony facing the sun. Bougainvillea, hydrangea, trumpet creeper were in bloom. The sunlight shone through the window onto the green plants, which looked particularly beautiful. "It's so beautiful." King ran to the small balcony and opened the screen window. Liemo, look, there's a tennis court down there. Liemo walked to the window and saw several young people playing tennis in the court. This study room is so comfortable. The light, air convection, and visual sense are all designed to be first class. Liemo couldn't help but sigh that the school also put a lot of effort into it. I won't play with you anymore. I'm going to tidy up my room. King quickly lost her novelty. She has never been interested in books or anything like that. Liemo shook his head, took a book from the bookshelf, sat on a chair and started reading. Beep. The new task has been completed. Please collect the reward. The reminder of the completion of this task was a little delayed. He called out Pajero in his heart. The pink learning machine appeared in front of him, and Liemo gently clicked on the task option. Task, young man, graduate. Requirements, get a master's degree in mathematics. Completion progress. 100% reward. 100,000 subject experience points, already issued, 1 ordinary lottery. Liemo clicked on the properties 1. Mathematics level. 6, 10 1500 / 500,000. 2. Physics level. 4, 2000 / 100,000. 3. Chemistry level 4, 2000 / 100,000. 4. Biology level. 4, 2000 / 100,000. 5. Intelligence level. 4 available points. 100,000. This time he decided to add the points to the mathematics subject, because most of the tasks issued by the learning assistance system are related to mathematics, and it is better to be good at one subject than to be specialized in many. He also wanted to know what the effect would be after the mathematics was upgraded to level 7. Attributes after adding 1. Mathematics level. 6, 20 1500 / 500,000. 2. Physics level. 4, 2000 / 100,000. 3. Chemistry level 4, 2000 / 100,000. 4. Biology level. 4, 2000 / 100,000. 5. Intelligence level. 4 available points. 0 system prompt. Congratulations on getting a chance to draw a lottery. Do you want to draw now? Start the lottery immediately. Prizes for the lottery wheel. 1. A space class super light cruise ship. 2. A plant human unlimited reproduction seed. 3. A large spring festival crystal. 4. 2 small pure crystals. 5. 10 light year interstellar travel. 6. Energy coffee x 10. Energy coffee. Energy coffee. Energy coffee. Energy coffee. Liemo called out in his heart. The continuous burning liver has made the coffee stock bottom out. He gently turned the big turntable, and the pointer turned rapidly. Congratulations on winning. Energy coffee x 10. Nice. What a good friend. Liemo was overjoyed holding the coffee in his hand. Chapter 189 Mission Impossible. Question time. Now the biggest doubt in Liemo's mind is the small celestial body flying at high speed 7.5 light years away. If it is just a small celestial body with high speed, it is fine, but if it is a flying vehicle or something like that, then the problem is big. However, this kind of question obviously does not conform to the provisions of the general principles of the law of cosmic civilization, and there is no way to ask the big-headed Pajero man directly. Liemo thought for a long time and finally asked, "Can I start asking questions now?" The grey fog on the high platform rolled, and the voice of the big-headed Pajero man came. "Please ask a question. Does such a small celestial body exist in the universe?" Liemo asked tentatively. The big-headed Pajero man did not say anything to stop him. He was delighted and continued. "Its trajectory is a straight line, and its speed reaches 1/2 the speed of light. If it is not a small celestial body, what else could it be?" These are actually 2 questions, and Liemo waited nervously for the answer. The grey fog on the high platform rolled, and the big-headed Pajero man seemed to be thinking. After a moment, "There is no such small celestial body. This is not scientific." The big-headed Pajero man gave a clear answer. Small stars are the most common celestial bodies in the universe. Their mass and volume are much smaller than planets. They are formed when 2 massive stars collide, or when a supernova explodes, and the mass escapes. Small stars are also stars. They have their own orbits and will be affected by the gravity of large stars, so it is impossible for a small star to run in a straight line at half the speed of light. If it is not a small star, what else could it be? Liemo asked anxiously. These are actually two questions. The big-headed Pajero saw through his conspiracy, but this kind of question is too simple. I will help you solve it by the way. I didn't expect this alien to be quite humane on Earth, Liemo thought. Running in a straight line, at a speed of half the speed of light, these two conditions determine that it can only be an interstellar spaceship of a certain civilization. The big-headed Pajero gave the final answer. Interstellar spaceship? Why is it flying towards the Earth? Liemo was shocked. The platform was filled with grey fog, and no more answers came. Liemo knew that the big-headed man would not help him solve this question. New mission released mission. Apply what you have learned mission description. Scientists are not nerds. They are the creators of the future mission requirements. Invent a technological product that can change the world. Mission time limit 365 days. Acceptance. Yes/no. Invention that changes the world. This requirement is too outrageous. What invention can change the world? In the long run, the 4 great inventions of ancient China changed the world. The invention of the compass allowed humans to identify directions for the first time without relying on the surrounding scenery, and also made long-distance navigation possible. The emergence of papermaking greatly reduced the cost of knowledge exchange and allowed humans to enter a civilized society more quickly. The invention of gunpowder marked a significant increase in humans' ability to transform nature, and it was also of great significance to the advancement of military weapons. The invention of printing is conducive to saving manpower, material resources, and financial resources used for printing. It is convenient for editing and modification. It greatly improves printing efficiency. It is conducive to the unification of versions. It is conducive to the dissemination and preservation of culture. And it is conducive to the promotion of knowledge and technology. In modern times, the steam engine internal combustion engine solved the engine problem of transportation, caused a revolutionary change in the field of transportation, further enhanced people's production capacity, made transportation more convenient and faster, changed people's lifestyles, expanded people's scope of activities, and strengthened communication between people. When computers appeared, humans began to have a tool that could simulate human thinking. In the years that followed, countless scientists worked hard for this goal. These inventions have changed human life and production methods, and they are also the crystallization of countless people's wisdom. Through the history of computer development, we can know how difficult all this is. As early as 1642, Pascal invented the first mechanical computer in human history, Pascal's adder. Of course, it is just a device composed of a series of gears, which can only do addition and subtraction. Leibniz then invented a new type of computer, which is about 1 meter long, and has a series of gear mechanisms installed inside. In addition to its large size, the basic principle is inherited from Pascal, and it can do addition repeatedly. The computers that appear above can only be regarded as physical computers, which use gears to calculate. The real electronic computer was not successfully developed until 1942. It was the ENIAC, which could perform 5,000 addition operations per second and 400 multiplication operations per second, which was 1,000 times that of an electromechanical computer operated by relays and 200,000 times that of manual calculations. Although its performance was very powerful, it consumed a lot of power and was expensive. Its power consumption exceeded 174 kilowatts. It was said that in those years, as long as the ENIAC was turned on, all the lights in the entire city of Philadelphia would suddenly be dimmed. The cost of maintaining it later exceeded $2 million. The most fatal flaw of the ENIAC was the separation of program and calculation. The program instructions that directed the work of the 20,000 electron tubes of the ENIAC were stored in the external circuit of the machine. Before calculating a certain problem, Eckert had to dispatch dozens of elite soldiers to manually connect hundreds of lines and work like a group of telephone operators for several days before a few minutes of calculation could be performed. At this time, a mathematician stood up. He was von Neumann, who was later hailed as the father of modern computers. He transformed ENIAC with superb theoretical and technical methods, and even put forward the famous 101-page report. This report laid a solid foundation for the modern computer architecture, and to this day, it is still considered a milestone document in the development of modern computer science. Subsequently, large-scale ultra-large-scale integrated circuits replaced high-energy consuming electron tubes. The cost was greatly reduced, and computers were able to enter thousands of households and become the driving force of social development. Only then did the development of computers truly enter the electronic age and become an invention that changed the world. Too outrageous. Liemo felt that the tasks given by the system were becoming more and more difficult. Is the world so easy to change? Countless young people with heroic ambitions finally turned into a handful of yellow earth. Maybe the system is anxious. He felt that the task given by the system this time did not conform to the usual stable style and seemed a little anxious. Fortunately, this time the system was very willful and gave an extra long time of 365 days. Of course, this extra long time was relative to the 30-day time limit of each task before. In the end, he still clicked to accept. If you don't try it, how do you know that you can't do it? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 190. Buying a car. Liemo, who returned to reality, sat at his desk, frowning and thinking. What invention can change the world? There are actually many such inventions, such as controlled nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is a method known to humans on Earth to maximize energy acquisition, and it is also a common way for stars in the universe to release energy. At present, the energy used on Earth mainly comes from natural energy, such as oil and coal. Solar energy and wind energy are all provided directly or indirectly by the star sun. If one day in the future, the sun suddenly goes out, humans will fall into darkness. Therefore, it is particularly important to master nuclear fusion before this. And if humans want to rush into space, nuclear fusion is the most basic threshold. There is also stem cell repair therapy, which can treat various incurable diseases. Or the machine-brain interaction device can allow humans to travel in the virtual world. But the problem is that these technologies have extremely high technical thresholds and extremely high difficulties, and involve all aspects of science and technology. Liemo does not think that he can break through these problems with the system in his mind. Imagination is useless. He stood up and decided to take a walk on campus. On the small path of the campus, under the shade of trees, Liemo walked slowly in front, and Xiaoqing followed closely behind. The flowers blooming in the garden, the butterflies flying in the air, everything is so lively. 2 years ago, he was just a high school student struggling to pass the exam. 2 years later, he became a visiting professor at the top university in the country, and even had a place in the international academic community. Liemo couldn't help but sigh. Life is so wonderful. Thinking of when he was very young, the factory couldn't pay wages, and his parents would worry about his future tuition fees. Every time a new semester started, the atmosphere at home suddenly became tense, and his mother would quarrel with his father over some trivial matters. Now he has an 8-digit deposit in his bank card, of course, most of which came from the dividends of WeHua company last year. Boss, where are we going? Such a nameless wandering made Xiaoqing behind him too bored. Liemo said as he walked, "Don't you think the scenery here is beautiful?" Xiaoqing was speechless. She knew that boss was too bored. Why don't we buy a car? An idea suddenly popped up in her mind. In the past, she drove the car herself when she was on a mission, and she also enjoyed the feeling of speeding. Although she can now call the security bureau's car at any time, she always feels that she lacks some freedom. Liemo frowned. Buy a car? Yes, although we can call for a car now. If your parents come to visit, we can't use the security bureau's car. Xiaoqing felt that she had thought of a good reason. She knew that Liemo was a very filial person. Liemo nodded involuntarily. Xiaoqing's words did make some sense. These days he has been busy with system tasks, and has not thought about whether he lacks anything in his life. In his life, he has nothing to lack. He lives in a house given by the school and eats dishes cooked by Chef King according to recipes. Now that he thinks about it, a car is indeed indispensable. Now many students on university campuses already drive cars to and from get out of class. Liemo thinks that buying a car is completely feasible. Then let's go buy it now. Liemo has always been straightforward and decisive in doing things. He took out his mobile phone to check the bank balance. Are we going to buy it now? King felt that happiness came too quickly. The 4S stores are far away. How can we get there? She thought of a new question. Liemo thought about it, dialed a number, and got a perfect answer from the other party. Let's wait at the school gate. King was a little confused. Lanzichen's legs were not good, and it was impossible for him to drive them. She didn't know if Liemo had any other friends in Yanda. When they arrived at the school gate, they heard a familiar greeting. Mosey, I'm here. Daphne shouted beside a red sports car. King remembered that Liemo also had an enthusiastic counselor in Yanjing. If you have any problems, just look for Brother Fei. It's absolutely right. Liemo knew that Brother Fei was a friend worth making close friends with from the fact that Brother Fei went abroad to find medicine for Lanzichen. Where are you going? Brother Fei helped them open the car door. King carefully looked at the red sports car. The sharp mouth on the front of the car looked very aggressive. The logo was a galloping horse. She praised it casually. This car is really beautiful. Liemo moved to the front row. It is beautiful, but it is not as spacious as Wuling Hangguang. He adjusted the seat forward and backward, but still felt a little crowded. Is your car very cheap? It looks like a toy from the outside. Yes, it is very cheap. Daphne and King both showed helpless expressions on their faces. Indeed, the Ferrari and Wuling Hangguang are completely like an egg hitting a stone in terms of space. They didn't know that the Wuling Hangguang that Liemo mentioned was a car that was modified and only had the Wuling logo. We are going to buy a car and go to the 4S store. Liemo finally adjusted the seat. What car to buy? Daphne started the car, and the sound of the V12 came into the car through the window. Liemo frowned. This car is too noisy. Daphne's heart was bleeding. He drove this Ferrari to show off in front of the boss, but he didn't expect to be beaten by DS one after another. I'm going to buy a car that's not so noisy. Liemo was used to silence, listening to the sound waves outside getting louder and louder as he stepped on the accelerator. Seeing his boss constantly hitting Daphne, King said beside him, ordinary cars are not so noisy. Daphne's car is specially made. It has a high rate of turning heads when driving on the road. She was embarrassed to say the brand of Ferrari. What if the boss didn't know? Wouldn't it be more embarrassing? Did you buy a car with a loud noise on purpose? Brother Fei, you should buy a tractor. That one is louder and has a higher rate of turning heads. Liemo replied. This was not an imaginary thing. He did ride a tractor when he was a child, and the vibration was so sour. Daphne regretted while driving the car. Why did he choose this car to drive out today? Isn't the A8 at home nice? I guarantee that this boss can't find any faults. King imagined the scene of Liemo driving a tractor on the streets of Yanjing and laughed. How about buying an electric car? Daphne decided not to talk about the loud topic. Even if a phantom was placed in front of this big man, he would not say it was a good car. Electric car, the kind that is completely powered by electricity. No need to refuel, just charge it. Like the old man's car. In Liemo's hometown, there are many old man's cars that pull people on the street. In fact, it is a battery and a motor, and then added with the shell of a car. Chapter 191 Build Your Dreams. Of course not, I have one at home, and it feels good to drive. Daphne explained beside him. Is it loud? Liemo asked. Daphne showed a helpless expression. Why did this big man always worry about this issue? Didn't he know that he spent millions more for these few sounds that could make girls scream? Not loud. I guarantee there will be no sound at all. Daphne had to answer. Liemo nodded. He was not nitpicking, but since he took the body modification drug, he was very sensitive to sound. So now he has to wear earplugs to sleep every night. Most of the car 4S stores are built in the suburbs. Business is for profit. The cost of land in the suburbs, whether it is rent or so-called self-owned, is very low, and generally 4S stores include exhibition halls, reception halls, lounges, maintenance rooms, offices, parts warehouses, car washes, paint and baking rooms, customer parking lots, maintenance parking lots, new car parking lots. Secondly, car maintenance, car washing, and painting are related to pollution. The planning department does not allow such ungreen stores to be opened in the city. Also, it is convenient to go out for a test drive in the suburbs. If you are in the city center, there will be traffic jams when you go out. How can you let people experience comfort and control? Let a person who has just obtained a license and has never been on the road try it? Daffy is a good driver. I don't know if it is because the car is very noisy. Liemo found that the surrounding vehicles often stay away from it. Sometimes when waiting for a red light, there will always be a parking space behind it. Even when driving, few cars pass by it. It seems that the loud noise of the car is really annoying. Liemo shook his head. After leaving the city, the roads in the suburbs are much smoother. Under Daffy's skilled control, the Ferrari soon arrived at the door of a 4S store. The gate saw the car from a distance and raised the boom. Does he know you? Liemo asked doubtfully. Generally, this kind of gate always interrogates the vehicles entering. Daffy said, he doesn't know me, but does he know my car? Liemo's head was full of question marks. A huge sign "Bide" stood at the door of the store. Daffy parked the car and pointed at the sign and asked, do you know what "Bide" means? The two shook their heads. Daffy rarely showed off his knowledge in front of a big boss and said happily, "Bide means build your dreams. Achieve dreams." Liemo thought about it and thought that this name was very meaningful. For ordinary Chinese people, a car carries their hope for the future. Seeing that the two agreed with what he said, Daffy continued to popularize science. Bide is a domestic automobile manufacturer. It was founded in 1995. After 24 years of rapid development, it has grown from 20 people at the beginning to 240,000 today. It has established more than 30 industrial parks around the world, realizing the strategic layout of the 6 continents around the world. Bide's business layout covers electronics, automobiles, new energy and rail transportation. It is the leader of domestic new energy vehicles in recent years. I heard that their new Bide Han is equipped with a new type of lithium iron phosphate blade battery with a range of up to 550 kilometers. I brought you here to see it this time. Daffy has been a car fan since he was a child. There are several luxury cars in his family. He is very interested in various new models. Welcome, sir. Do you have a sales consultant who has made an appointment in advance? The sales lady at the door greeted politely. Daffy waved his hand. No, please introduce us. I'm Zio, a salesperson. I'm happy to serve you. The sales lady said professionally. I don't know what kind of car you want to see, sir. Our fuel cars here include Bidekin, Kin Pro, Bide Song, Song Plus, and Bide Song Maximum. New energy cars include Bide Han New Energy, Bidekin New Energy, and Bide Song New Energy. This company is interesting. The names of the vehicles are all named according to dynasties, which makes domestic consumers more receptive. Liemo nodded. We are going to buy a new energy car. Does Bide Han have a sample car? Daffy asked directly. Sir, please come this way. The exhibition car is here. Bide's exhibition hall is very large, with dozens of sample cars placed in a staggered manner. There are also many customers looking at cars, and the bustling crowd makes the originally large exhibition hall seem even more crowded. I said I want to buy a joint venture car. Do you listen? A girl in red was stomping her feet and shouting at a boy, and the boy's eyes were always on a car marked Kin New Energy. What's wrong with domestic cars? There are many people using them. The boy's momentum was a little weak. The girl pinched her waist and said, I don't care. My colleagues around me all drive joint venture cars. They say that domestic cars are easy to rust and break down. How can they break down easily? My uncle's old Bide has been driven for more than 10 years, and he has only changed the tires and wipers. The boy retorted unconvinced. Besides, the price of domestic cars is cheaper than joint venture cars. We can save a lot of money. Won't life be better in the future? Liemo couldn't help but stop and listen quietly beside him. He didn't expect that the boy was not very old, but he was a good hand at thrifty housekeeping. There are not many young people like this now. He signaled to Daffy with his eyes. Daffy's eloquence is beyond doubt and he will definitely help the boy. Daffy understood immediately, walked forward, and asked kindly, "Excuse me, both of you. I'm a professional car reviewer. If you have any questions, I can provide free consultation." The red girl's eyes lit up when she saw the handsome Daffy. She said first, "It's like this, my boyfriend wants to buy a domestic car, and I want to buy a joint venture car. Sir, tell me who is right." The dull boy next to her seemed even more reserved, with a nervous expression on his face. "Can I ask about your budget?" Daffy asked with a smile, because each car manufacturer has its own positioning range. "If you are going to spend more than 1 million to buy a car, I suggest you go out and turn left. There is a BMW 4S store there." The girl replied embarrassedly, "Not that much. He and I have just graduated. The monthly salary is only over 10,000, and we have to pay rent every month, so we only have more than 100,000 in hand." A monthly salary of over 10,000 is just enough to solve the problem of food and clothing in a big city. No wonder the boy's so careful with money. "Let me tell you what car you can buy with more than 100,000. Brother Fetty is still very professional about cars. Honda Fit. The advantage is high value retention rate. The disadvantage is hatchback, small space, simple interior. This generation even has a simple radio. Volkswagen Santana. The advantage is sturdy. The disadvantage is small space, simple interior, loud noise. The engine is prone to oil leakage in the later stage." Chapter 192 Car Reviewer Daffy. Nissan's classic Sylphy has advantages such as large space and comfortable seats, but its disadvantages are thin leather and paint, and Nissan's CVT gearbox is easily damaged by cold in winter. Don't just look at the appearance of a car. A car reviewer said it well: "Cheap cars save money, expensive cars save lives." It's okay for some car companies to reduce configurations, but the most worrying thing is that they cut corners on the rigid structure of the car body. For businesses, they must pursue profits. Joint venture cars have to pay more taxes than domestic cars, and these taxes will eventually be passed on to consumers. The girl frowned and asked, "People say that domestic cars are easy to break down, have many minor problems, and are prone to rust. This question cannot be avoided every time when talking about domestic cars." Daffy said, "That was more than 10 years ago. Today's domestic cars are no longer the same as before. Many domestic cars have been exported to foreign countries. 15% of bike sales now come from overseas markets. As for the rust problem, I can say that no car will not rust unless you buy a carbon fiber supercar. Because the essence of rust is the result of the reaction between iron, oxygen and water vapor. The chemical properties of iron are relatively active, which is the internal cause of iron's easy rust, especially in coastal areas. Because the water contains corrosive salts, it is particularly easy to rust." The boy nodded frequently, and the car reviewer in front of him also made sense. "Of course, you can also buy the Bytekin in front of you for more than 100,000 yuan. It has a large space, rich configuration, ACC, 360 panoramic view, and reversing radar. It is already complete. The most important thing is that it has zero fuel consumption per 100 kilometers, which greatly saves the cost of using the car." Daffy explained clearly, and the boy nodded continuously, while the girl's face darkened. Colleagues say that domestic cars have no face. It turns out that the crux lies here. It is normal for young people nowadays to like to compare. We can also buy a car with a loan. I heard from the salesperson that the loan is cheaper than the full payment. The girl thought of a good idea. A down payment of more than 100,000 yuan is enough to buy an entry-level luxury car. It seems that the girl has already done her homework. Is it cheaper to buy a car with a loan than to pay in full? Daffy cast his eyes on the salesman next to him, who waved his hand quickly. "We didn't say that. Byte 4S stores have regulations that prohibit misleading customers. I heard them say that at the Audi 4S store," the girl said a little embarrassedly. Daffy was relieved and explained with a smile. Some car manufacturers have interest-free policies, but you still have to pay a financial service fee when you buy a car, and then there are pledge fees, license fees, etc. And your insurance must be full every year. You should know that insurance companies have a certain rebate for cars that have never been in an accident. Based on a 5,000 yuan car insurance, the rebate can be more than 1,000 yuan per year. Daffy seemed very professional. So much. The girl widened her eyes. The salesman at these 4S stores had never told her that. And, generally speaking, a 200,000 yuan car will cost about 20,000 yuan more to pay in installments. Wouldn't it be nice to go traveling with these 20,000 yuan? Daffy said, shaking his finger. So I don't recommend you young people to spend ahead of time, because young people have a weaker ability to resist risks. Once you can't pay the installment, you will face the risk of having your car towed away, your credit being blacklisted, and even being sued by the bank. Daffy analyzed all the interests, and Liemo felt that this guy was a bit of a loss not to be a clerk in a 4S store. Is the overdue payment so serious? The girl hesitated when she heard it. Daffy said with a serious face, those financial service providers always tell the world to spend today and pay it back tomorrow. They don't vigorously promote the consequences of not being able to pay it back. Especially since you are still students who have just graduated, your future is bright, and there is no need to fall on this. The girl's eyes lit up when she heard his words. The car reviewer in front of her was simply a savior who saved the suffering. We don't want to pay in installments, so we decided to buy this one. The girl nodded continuously. Thank you, sir. Daffy waved his hand slightly, turned around and left, hiding his merits and fame. Liemo watched him fiddling with the shape beside him and laughed. But what Daffy said was true. The buyer is not as smart as the seller. You get what you pay for. This will never change. Sir, what car do you drive? Zoi, the salesperson behind Daffy, asked curiously. The big boy in front of him was so careful with his money, he must be driving a super cost-effective car. Ferrari 488, Pista Spider. Daffy shook his head and said, the parallel imported ones. The car is fast, but the chassis is too low. Every time I go to the suburbs, I have to change the old Prado at home. Zoi was speechless for a while, and felt like spitting blood. This gentleman just taught others to save money, but he drove a Ferrari that consumed 18 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. The car has to be driven in turns. It turns out that ordinary people don't understand the world of the rich. Sir, your Ferrari costs more than 4 million, right? Zoi, as a 4S clerk, although she didn't study luxury cars much, she had heard of them. I chose to add on, and the landing price is more than 5 million. Daffy replied. Liemo, who was standing next to him, was surprised to hear this and asked, how come the car you just bought, which has a very narrow seat and runs like a tractor, costs more than 5 million? Are you a little stupid? The two girls next to him laughed out loud after hearing what he said. This was the first time someone compared a Ferrari to a tractor. Well, this big guy is entangled with tractors again. Daffy shook his head and said, compared with your IQ, I do look like a fool. Sir, how many cars do you have at home? Zoi, the salesperson, asked curiously. As an ordinary person, she was also interested in the life of the rich. I usually drive a Ferrari in the city. I also have a Prado, a Rolls Royce, and an Alfa for traveling at home. By the way, there is also a Maserati. I think that car is very ugly, but it can't stop my sister from liking it. You have so many cars at home. Zoi, the salesperson, felt that she would be injured if she continued to listen. Not much, not much. Now there is a traffic restriction in Yanjing. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can only drive Ferrari and Prado. On Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, you can only drive Rolls-Royce and Alfa. 3 people in our family have to go out every day, so the remaining person can only take Diddy. Daffy shook his head in grievance. It was originally my turn to take Diddy today. Isn't this because I accompanied my good friend to look at cars? I paid 2 weeks of use rights to get it from my sister. The people around him saw his aggrieved expression, and countless horses ran through their hearts. If he could hit someone, I believe Dafoe's handsome face would have been bruised and swollen. Chapter 193 Bargaining. Gentlemen, this is Baidhan. Zioyui, the salesperson who was hit hard, decided not to explore the world of the rich anymore. This car accelerates from 0 to 100 km/h in less than 3 seconds, with a maximum speed of 240 km/h. It is equipped with a permanent magnet synchronous motor with a maximum horsepower of 222 and a peak torque of 330 Nm. The wheelbase of Baidhan reaches 2940 mm. It is a medium to large sedan. Liemo stretched out his hand and gestured. The car was indeed very long, much longer than the car he often took. What battery does it use? The standard for measuring the quality of a new energy vehicle is its battery. Baidhan uses the latest Blade battery, which increases safety and energy density. The maximum range is more than 600 kilometers. Zioyui, the salesperson, introduced. This car is a 4-wheel drive high-performance flagship model, and the current price is 279,500. Boss, buy it? This car is so beautiful. King next to him did not have the element of a customer at all. As a customer, when you like a product, no matter how much you like it, you can't say it. Liemo hesitated for a moment. The car in front of him was indeed as beautiful as King said. It changed the cold feeling of cars and seemed like a work of art. How is it? Are you attracted to it, Mosey? Daffy saw him staring at the car and asked curiously. I'm attracted to it, but can I bargain? Liemo felt that he had completely inherited his mother's genes. No matter how many digits there were in the bank card, if a commodity could not be bargained, then the fun of buying things would be gone. Bargain? Daffy was a little amused. Was this big man in front of him someone who needed such little money? Okay, I'll bargain for you. How much cheaper do you want? Liemo hesitated for a moment and said, for such a big item, it should be cheaper by at least 1,000 yuan. His mother always threw away the change when buying things. For example, once she bought a bunch of green onions, the merchant asked for 81 cents, and she must throw away the 1 cent, and even swore that the merchant sprinkled water on the green onions. When he was a child, Liemo also hated his mother's behavior and thought she was taking advantage of others. Unexpectedly, he actually did the same thing today. This is called careful calculation. Boss, is it worth it for just 1,000? Watch me. Daffy walked to the salesperson's IOIUI and said, let's do this. Beautiful lady, we really want this car. You can apply to your manager and get a 3,000 yuan discount in cash, and then get the original car film, floor mats, 4 full car glazes, a fire extinguisher, and 1 regular maintenance. By the way, the film should be Dragon film. Don't use the unknown brand to fool people. Zioyui immediately looked embarrassed. Sir, our store has never had cash discounts, but as for the gifts you mentioned, we can give them to you. How can you not try it? Go, try it. Daffy encouraged from the side. Salesperson Zioyui had to turn around and walk to the manager's office. Brother Fei, can it really be 3,000 yuan cheaper? King asked curiously from the side. She saw that there was no discount for this car on a certain car home. Brother Fei smiled mysteriously and shook his head. Then why did you ask her to ask? King was confused by Daffy's unfathomable expression. Wait for me, Daffy said in a mysterious way. Sure enough, after a while, the salesperson Zioyui came back with a bitter face. Sir, I'm sorry, this plan can't satisfy you. Daffy looked normal. He took out a business card with the words OU Daffy written on it. Take the business card and go again. Tell your manager that I want a discount of 90,000 this time. Go. 90,000 discount. Salesperson Zioyui was stunned when she took the business card. She asked hesitantly, do you know our manager? Daffy rolled his eyes at her. Does your manager have the right to give you a discount of 90,000? Salesperson Zioyui shook her head. She had worked in the 4S store for a long time and knew that the profit of a car was actually very meager. If the discount was 90,000, I'm afraid that the manager's salary would not be enough to cover it. What do you mean? Salesperson Zioyui didn't want to be scolded again. Just now, she was scolded by the manager when she just put forward the customer's request in the manager's office. I told you to go, so go. If he scolds you again, I will lend you my Ferrari for a week," Daphne said confidently. Sales Zoi had to muster up her courage again, holding the inexplicable business card, and pushed open the door of the manager's office with trepidation. "Why are you back again? Tell the customer that our domestic cars don't have such a big profit. If they want to bargain, they can go to the bookstore. Their Yinglang has a discount of more than 50,000 yuan," the manager said unhappily when he saw her coming back so soon. After saying that, he put his hands behind his back and looked at the banner on the wall that read "Indifferent to fame and wealth" and thought secretly, "Don't be angry, don't be angry. The doctor said that if you get angry again, your blood pressure will rise again." Sales Zoi said with a stiff upper lip. "Manager." This time the customer asked for a discount of 90,000 yuan. Her voice became smaller and smaller. "How much is the discount?" The manager suspected that there was something wrong with his ears. 90,000 yuan. The manager tried to suppress his emotions. He wanted to push the door open and go out to see if this customer was sent by the opponent to deliberately kick the can. And this business card. Sales Zoi saw that the manager looked bad and quickly handed over the business card. "Business card?" The manager took the business card in confusion. There were only 3 words written on the business card. "Oh you Daffy. Oh you Daffy." Even if he is our Anfeng, it won't work. The manager was about to throw the business card into the trash can, but as if he had thought of something, he quickly took it back. He picked up the business card and looked at it under the light. The seemingly pure white business card showed a few mysterious patterns. Could it be? He remembered something and quickly took out his mobile phone and dialed a number. The call was quickly connected. "Boss, does the big boss have a son named Daffy?" His face had already changed to a smile, as if the person on the other end of the phone could also see it. "Yes, I received a business card with a curved 9 dragon pattern on it." Zoi is the customer who handed over the business card, a big back hair, 195 centimeters tall, and in his 20s? He asked the salesperson Zoi while covering the microphone. Zoi thought for a while and nodded. "Yes, the appearance of that customer is exactly in line with your description." After getting the answer, he reported to the microphone again. Yes, I will definitely entertain you, don't worry." The manager put down the phone and wiped the sweat from his forehead. Just a few minutes on the phone made him sweat so much. "Where are those people? Take me there quickly," he shouted to the salesperson Zoi. The manager went from being furious to accepting the business card. The big change in attitude after making a phone call made the salesperson Zoi wonder, could it be that the identity of this guest? Chapter 194. Who cares about face? Zia King and Liemo were looking at the car body carefully. The more Liemo looked at it, the more he liked it. The paint, the small lines, and the comfortable seats were so comfortable. Liemo decided to take it back today, even if he couldn't bargain. "It turns out that Mr. OU has arrived. Why didn't you notify me, so that I could come out to greet him?" From a distance, the manager found Daffy accurately. He didn't try to shake hands, but bowed deeply. Daffy said lightly, "It's rare for me to bring a friend to take care of your business. How can you not welcome me?" Seeing that Mr. OU seemed dissatisfied, the manager hurriedly said, No, it's our honor that Mr. OU came to inspect our work." Daffy didn't respond, and his face showed a bit of arrogance, and the atmosphere suddenly became awkward. Liemo found it funny to see the tall manager of the 4S trying to shrink back. He said beside him, "Daffy, so your last name is OU, I just know it now." Daffy rolled his eyes at him. "Boss, you didn't ask me either." Seeing that the atmosphere had eased slightly, the manager stepped forward and asked, "Is this your friend who is going to buy a car?" Daffy still had a stern face and was in a very bad mood. At this time, the salesman in the store also turned their eyes here. The 4S manager, who was always strict, was like a child in front of customers. This scene was too rare. In order to resolve the embarrassment, Liemo took the initiative to extend his hand. "I'm Liemo. I have my eyes on a Baihan. Manager, you must give me the best price." The manager seemed to have met a savior and held Liamo's hand tightly. "That's for sure. Your friend is the VIP of our 4S store. How about this?" The manager hesitated for a moment, gritted his teeth and said, "I'll give you a discount of 100,000. How about it? 100,000 discount?" Liamo was shocked by this discount. He thought Daphne was joking when he said the discount of 90,000 was a discount, but he didn't expect that the manager would directly discount it by 100,000. At this time, Daphne's expression eased a little. "It seems to be the case. It's worth my bringing my friend to make this trip. Go get the invoice, get the temporary license plate, and get insurance. We are going to drive the car away today." The manager nodded repeatedly and told the salesperson Xiaoru to go through the relevant procedures. While all the employees in the store had left, Liamo asked, "You won't really ask that manager to pay for the subsidy, will you? He just wanted to talk about some prices. If the money was paid by others, Liamo would feel reluctant." Daphne smiled and said, "Do you think people like him are willing to spend money? Don't worry. Every quarter, 4S stores have a target. This cost is reimbursed by the manufacturer. So that's the case." Liamo was relieved. He came to the car again and admired it carefully. No wonder some people say that beautiful cars and beautiful women are the pursuit of every successful man. He can feel it now. Don't buy this, you know. Stella Edamame has reduced its price again. The current price is only 250,000. While look at domestic cars. A young man with glasses was looking at a car, and his friend next to him said, "I've seen Mayodao 3. The workmanship is too crude, and the battery life and configuration are much lower than Baidan." The young man with glasses shook his head and said. His friend said anxiously, "What's the big deal about being rough? It's called rough. Stella is so face-saving when she drives it." Liamo watched the two of them discussing fiercely. He smiled and said to Xiaoking, "Do you think buying a domestic car or a joint venture car is more face-saving?" Xiaoking thought for a while and said, "I don't know much about cars, but I heard that most people in rural China like large-size SUVs, especially those cheap domestic large-size SUVs. These people should be very face-saving." She said the truth. Domestic SUVs are currently selling very well in China, especially the H6 series, which has been the sales champion for several years. They are mainly sold in rural areas. However, in the sales ranking of compact cars, joint venture cars are still the main ones. Liamo shook his head and said, "Cars are just a means of transportation. Anything that is out of this category is just for face. Why do rural areas like SUVs? Let's first look at the advantages of domestic SUVs. They are large in size and can meet the needs of a family's travel. This is particularly important in most rural areas where there is only one car. In addition, SUVs have good passability. Rural areas are not paved like cities, so SUVs with good passability are particularly important. But domestic SUVs are of poor quality, have high fuel consumption, and are designed to cheat ordinary people." The person who accompanied his friend to buy a car heard what he was saying and came over to refute. Liamo smiled slightly and motioned the waiter to move a chair. "In the early years, when my country's automobile industry was in its infancy, the quality of domestic cars may have been a little worse, but now it is no longer the same as before. The reason why some people complain that domestic cars have many problems is mainly because some rural car owners do not pay attention to car maintenance. As long as the car can run, they will not think about going to 4S stores for maintenance. In addition, the car use environment in rural areas is very different from that in cities. The roads there are rugged, and often driving on such roads is a test of the car's chassis. What about the high fuel consumption of domestic SUVs?" the young man insisted. Liamo thought for a moment and said, "When comparing fuel consumption, we must follow the size and weight of the car. If you compare a Class A car like the Fit with a compact SUV like the H6, there is no comparison. For example, the H6's average fuel consumption is 9.4 L per 100 km, while the Audi Q3 behind it is 9.77 L per 100 km, and the Outlander is 10.39 L per 100 km. But Audi is a luxury car, and luxury cars have higher fuel consumption." The young man said unconvinced. Liemo smiled and said, the weight of the Audi Q3 is 1.5 t, and the weight of the H6 is 1.6 tons. So, the Audi Q3 has an advantage in weight. The young man was completely speechless at this time. Liemo continued, so who do you think is good at face? For the same amount of money, they would rather buy a car without a radio, just for the sake of face, just for the car logo. Isn't this person good at face enough? Of course, some people say that cars are meant to be driven, and it's okay, as long as the three major parts are good. Then I want to ask, what are the three major parts? Auto parts are industrial products, and industrial products all have defects. On the famous car quality website, you can go and see which brand ranks first in complaints. So don't be superstitious about the power of brands. Isn't it better to save some money and give it to the elderly at home during the new year? Everyone around nodded silently. Are you Liemo? The young man who was looking at the car looked at the Weibo on his phone and shouted happily. I also follow your Weibo. Look, is this you? He pointed to the graduation photo that Liemo posted on Weibo and said, Chapter 195 New Direction. I'm Liemo. Who are you? Liemo knew he had met a fan. The young man extended his hand. Hello, big brother. I'm Shilei, a programmer at Yangzhou Technology. Yangzhou Technology. This is an internet company that started as a portal and later provided free email and has the best-selling turn-based online game in China. Liemo's favorite is their cloud music, which is the largest and best quality playlist library in China. For the same song, through other people's comments, you can experience the story and the same feelings, and find resonance in the comments. The most interesting thing is that Ding Sanshi, the head of Yangzhou Technology, while making great efforts on the internet, has also devoted himself to the pig farming industry, determined to cultivate the best pigs, which is very much to Liemo's taste. I know your company is one of the few internet companies in China that started with originality, Liemo said with a smile. In the 1990s, domestic internet companies emerged like mushrooms after rain, but the internet bubble burst in 1998, and hundreds of small and medium-sized internet companies in China went bankrupt overnight. Then with the rise of internet shopping, Alibaba and JD.com rose up. In addition to the giant penguin in the field of internet social networking, and Kaiandu, which is the only one in the search field, a pattern of three-way division of the world has gradually formed. Most of the domestic internet companies belong to these three factions, such as Michan, TB, Kuberi, and Fizu, all of which are backed by Alibaba. L.me, Tiba, Zidao, and Bake are the traffic entrances of Kaiandu system, and WeChat, QQ, JD.com, and Pinduoduo are the capable generals of Penguin system. The mall is like a battlefield, and on the battlefield, it is either a friend or an enemy. This sentence is more appropriate in the internet industry. The three major factions continue to acquire small and medium-sized internet companies and attack the enemy's strength. For example, 360 versus Penguin, and the two-choice event on Double 11 are all war actions made to expand the strength of the system. However, there is an old technology company in the internet that does not belong to the three major factions, that is Yangzhou Technology Company. It relies on portals and emails to obtain traffic entrances, obtains cash flow through original turn-based games, and now intervenes in internet shopping, trying to get a share of the territory of these giants. Liemo actually admires Ding Sanshi very much. He is not as showy as those leaders, but he can always keep up with the pace of internet development and let pig farming technology have a place in the internet industry. Hearing Liemo praising their originality, Shilei said embarrassedly, "Big brother, you are too kind. I also studied mathematics back then. I knew I didn't have this talent, so I jumped to the internet industry as soon as possible. Your speech at the Abel Prize ceremony was really great. It expressed the voices of us mathematicians." Liemo shook his head and said, "I just spoke from my feelings. Big brother, are you going to buy a car?" Shilei remembered the purpose of his visit at this time. Liemo nodded. "I have already chosen it, Baidan, and the salesperson is processing the procedures." Shilei showed a happy expression on his face. "Big brother, I like Baidan too. I wanted to take a look at Maodao 3 again, but now there is no need. Miss, help me calculate the cost. It's my honor to drive the same car as you." Is it possible that all businessmen like cars with the shape of Bidhan? Liamo thought in his heart. Sir, the formalities for your car have been completed. Do you want to hold a delivery ceremony for you? Salesperson Zio, I said, holding a key. Liamo shook his head. He didn't like to be in the limelight. A red car had been prepared and parked quietly in front of the door. Sir, here are your keys. Liamo opened the door of the main driver's seat and got in. Daphne sat in the co-pilot seat honestly and said with envy, isn't this car good? Double spoke steering wheel, large size floating central control screen with a rotating function, as well as air conditioning vents, touch screen and gear lever shape below. The co-pilot center console can be seen with drag and scale texture ambient lights, which is very Chinese style. The interior uses black and brown theme colors, some wood grain panels and black piano lacquer decorative panels, to create a very strong sense of luxury and technology. Liamo nodded. It felt great to sit in the car. He lightly pressed the accelerator and the sudden pushback made him happy. The most important thing is that the car makes very little noise. It's much better than your tractor worth more than 5 million yuan, Liamo said as he got familiar with the operation. Daphne was depressed about the tractor again. He decided to buy an electric car when he returned. Brother Fei, your Ferrari is at the 4S store, is it okay? Zia King thought of a question at this time. Daphne drove here, so how could he go back in boss's new car? Daphne shook his head. It's okay, I left the keys there too, and the staff at the 4S store will help me get it home. It's a rare opportunity to have boss Liamo as a driver, how can I miss it? The scenery outside the window quickly receded. Liamo carefully operated the vehicle, glanced at the battery level on the dashboard, and thought of a question. What if my destination is 1000 kilometers away? Bidhan has a range of more than 600 kilometers, and it needs to be recharged if it exceeds this range. Zia King rolled her eyes at him. This car can only run 600 kilometers. If it runs 1000 kilometers, it can only be recharged halfway. This is the disadvantage of new energy vehicles. A gasoline car can only run 600 kilometers on a tank of gas, but the gasoline is loaded very quickly. It can be completed in a few minutes at a gas station. However, it takes a lot of time to charge the battery. Therefore, with the decline of new energy subsidies in recent years, the sales volume of new energy vehicles has also plummeted. Liamo thought while driving. At present, there are two major disadvantages of new energy vehicles. The first is the battery life and charging time. In addition to being a daily means of transportation, cars also have a very important function, which is emergency use. Imagine that your new energy vehicle is charging, and now there is an emergency that needs to be rushed to 600 kilometers away immediately. What would you do? The second is the high price. The high price here refers to civilian cars. Generally, a family car budget of less than 150,000 can buy a very useful car. The price of new energy vehicles of the same level is generally more than 250,000 yuan, and their prices differ by 100,000 yuan. 100,000 yuan to buy gasoline is basically enough for a gasoline car to run 200,000 kilometers. In this way, the advantage of low cost of new energy vehicles no longer exists. If a battery that can be charged quickly and cheaply can be invented, it will definitely change the entire automotive industry. Liamo felt that he knew which direction he should go. Chapter 196 Visiting New Energy. Boss, what are you thinking about? Zia King asked with concern when she saw him frowning. Liamo drove the vehicle to overtake a truck. The vehicle had good handling and was more comfortable than all the gasoline vehicles he had driven before. The power was available at any time. Also, because the electricity was directly output, the throttle response speed of the electric motor was much faster than that of all internal combustion vehicles. And compared to gasoline engines, electric motors have a simple structure, low cost per unit power, no complicated pipeline design, no need for oil, air filter, or gas filter, and maintenance is easy and cheap. The only and biggest disadvantage is a problem of battery life and charging. Liamo slowly made up his mind to invent a car battery that could solve these two disadvantages. He said, if there is a new energy vehicle with a range of 1,500 kilometers and only 10 minutes to charge, do you think it will be a big hit? Daffy said, if such a car appears, it will not only be a big hit, but it will be a huge hit. You have already experienced how fun it is to drive an electric car. Every time I drive a new energy vehicle, my Ferrari feels that the acceleration is too slow. It's a pity that the range is not good. Every time I go out, I need to plan the route in advance and choose service areas with fast charging stations. What if the fast charging in the server doesn't work? Then I'm at a loss. The first time I drove a new energy vehicle for a long distance, I didn't pay attention to the battery level, and I had to sleep in the car while waiting for the charging car. Daffy curled his lips. It was not a pleasant feeling. Liam nodded. He turned the steering wheel and the car stopped by the roadside. Turning back, he smiled and asked Daffy, can we visit the new energy vehicle factory? Daffy was startled. Boss, what new ideas do you have? Liam shook his head. I'm just a little interested. It would be best if I could have an engineer accompany me. He currently has no idea about batteries, and he might have new ideas if he understands the entire process of battery production. Daffy reluctantly took out his mobile phone and dialed a number. Hello, brother, this is Daffy. I have a friend who wants to visit your factory. Yes, an engineer is also needed. Perhaps the other party made some request. Daffy said impatiently. I know, I'm applying according to the procedure, right? After hanging up the phone, Daffy said, my buddy will arrange it, but we need to sign a confidentiality agreement before entering. Liam nodded. Daffy has many buddies, and it is normal to enter the core area of the factory to sign a confidentiality agreement. Inside a new energy vehicle factory, the rows of new energy vehicles parked in the parking lot appear to be shining under the sunlight. I'm Engineer Wang, an engineer in the battery laboratory. A middle-aged man in work clothes stretched out his hands from a distance. Although his face was full of smiles, his feet did not move, and his eyes looked away from time to time. Hello, I'm Liam. Thank you for your company. Liam saw that Engineer Wang was in a bad mood and seemed to have some resistance to this small task. It's also true that people who really do technology always have a full schedule, and most of them are unwilling to accept such administrative tasks, especially taking several children to visit the factory. I don't know what you want to visit. Our production line is one of the best in the country. It adopts fully automated production. Why don't I take you to visit it? Engineer Wang asked. The purpose of Liam's visit this time was not to see how cars were made. What he needed most was to find some ideas for new batteries. Liam thought for a while and replied, there is no need to visit the assembly line. I mainly want to visit your battery laboratory. Daffy, you don't have to accompany me. He saw Daffy looking around and knew that Daffy was not interested in these things. Daffy was overjoyed when he heard this. Then I'll go find my buddy. Call me when you're done. Watching Daffy leave, Engineer Wang hesitated for a moment and said, the management of our factory is very strict. Your friend is leaving just like that. Is that okay? Liam smiled and said, it's okay. His buddy is here. With a buddy who can allow them to visit the factory directly and have engineers accompany them, Daffy will probably not encounter any problems. Are you sure you want to visit the battery laboratory? It's very boring there, not as advanced as the vehicle manufacturing workshop. Engineer Wang confirmed again. Liam nodded. By the way, help me explain the batteries you are currently using. I'm very interested in this. Engineer Wang showed a surprised expression. He didn't expect that the young man in front of him would be interested in batteries. Most people only like fashionable appearance and beautiful crystal dashboards. He thought for a while and asked, do you know the principle of battery? Hearing the question from Engineer Wang in front of him in a teacher's tone, Liam replied, the basic principle of battery is to use highly active metal materials to make anodes, and use relatively stable materials to make cathodes. The anode material loses electrons due to Coulomb force and flows to the cathode to gain electrons, while the negative ions of the cathode flow to the anode and combine with the cations inside the battery, thus forming a circuit and generating electrical energy. It can convert the absorbed electrical energy into chemical energy and store it, just like a warehouse. Charging is to store electrical energy in the warehouse, and discharging is to transport electrical energy out of the warehouse. Engineer Wang nodded involuntarily, putting away some of his underestimation. The answer of the young boy in front of him was very standard, especially the warehouse metaphor at the end, which accurately describes the characteristics and functions of the battery. Currently, the battery is commonly used in electric vehicles: nickel hydrogen batteries, lithium iron phosphate, and ternary lithium. We use special lithium iron phosphate batteries. Do you know why? He asked another question, and Liam shook his head. These three types of batteries each have their own advantages and disadvantages. Nickel metal hydride batteries have a very good memory and will remember overcharging or discharging clearly, and then the power will decay. Therefore, nickel metal hydride batteries have higher requirements for charging and discharging time, and the power must be maintained within a fixed range, so they are generally used in hybrid models. Ternary lithium has the largest power, but it has an obvious disadvantage, which is that it has very strict requirements on heat dissipation. To ensure safety, each battery must have a fuse. Even if the heat dissipation is in place, the ternary lithium battery may catch fire and self-ignite in the event of a collision or short circuit. There is also the lithium iron phosphate battery we use. Although the power of the same weight is not as good as the ternary lithium battery, it has good thermal stability, is not easy to get angry, and the cost of heat dissipation parts is much lower. Cars are a means of transportation that people often use, and safety must be put first. Liam thinks that this new energy vehicle company's choice is wise. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 197. Girl Quiet. In front is our new energy battery laboratory. Engineer Wang pointed to a modern office building in front and said, "We are the first company in China to develop new energy vehicles, and our technical reserves are also at the leading level in China." Stepping into the laboratory building, Liam clearly felt that the atmosphere here was very tense. Several lab workers in white coats shuttled between different departments with materials. "Old Wang, you still have the leisure to hang out here. The results of the 5th experiment are about to come out." Passing by a department, a bald lab worker inside the door shouted. Old Wang waved his hand helplessly at him. "Are you conducting an experiment?" Liam turned around and asked. The tense atmosphere here might be related to this experiment. Engineer Wang replied, "We are conducting an experiment to expand the energy density of lithium iron phosphate batteries." He had no intention of hiding anything, which surprised Liam a little, but then he understood it. The energy density of a battery is an important criterion for measuring battery performance. The higher the energy density, the more energy the battery can store. The reason why this experiment is not afraid of being leaked by outsiders is because it involves very professional knowledge. All battery laboratories at home and abroad will continue to conduct this experiment. At present, the energy density of our lithium phosphate battery is 250 Wh/kg. The purpose of this experiment is to increase the energy density to 300 Wh/kg. Unfortunately, the first 4 attempts failed. Leo Wang sighed. If the experiment is successful, our battery energy density will be among the world's leading, and the range of new energy vehicles equipped with this battery is expected to exceed 650 kilometers. Talking about the experiment, Leo Wang's spirit is different, and sparks burst out of his eyes. Liam believes that, if there is no accompanying task, he will definitely appear at the forefront of the laboratory. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but feel sorry. "Why don't you go? I'll just turn around here." Leo Wang's eyes lit up, and as if he thought of something, he shook his head and said, "No, the leader told me to accompany you is my task today. If you don't complete it, you can't enter the laboratory." Liam looked at the childish grievance on the face of this middle-aged man in his 40s, and couldn't help but feel funny. "Go, it's okay, your task has been completed." "Really?" Wang Gong asked doubtfully. "Really?" Liam nodded. Engineer Wang suddenly realized, "Thank you, I'm leaving now." After walking 2 steps, he turned back worriedly. Liam said helplessly, "Don't worry, I'll leave by myself later." Engineer Wang then trotted away with confidence. Liam believed that there were many technical geeks like Engineer Wang in this new energy vehicle company. It was because of them that China's new energy vehicles started in hardship and are now at the forefront of the world's new energy vehicles. He walked slowly, and every department in the laboratory building seemed extremely busy, and everyone's face was full of infinite vitality. Yes, the rapid development of modern science and technology is destined to a helpless reality. That is, the winner takes all. Which company can develop a battery with larger capacity and safer safety? They will be in a favorable position in the competition. On the contrary, if any company adopts backward technology, it will be abandoned by the market. This situation of survival of the strong and elimination of the weak requires employees of modern enterprises to not be lazy at all. I quit. I'm telling you, I quit. Just as Liemo was sighing at their dedication, a girl in a lab coat rushed out. Zhao, I mean well, so you won't be criticized by the director again. A boy pushed the door open and tried to pull her, but the girl ran away very fast. The noise here had alarmed people coming and going in the corridor. Seeing this, the boy returned to the laboratory unwillingly. The girl seemed to have encountered some troubles at work. Liemo's eyes lit up. Experience told him that to see the whole picture of a thing, he needed to observe it from different angles. Sometimes some negative information can better reflect the essence of things. He followed the girl closely. The girl wiped her tears and went straight out of the laboratory building and came to the small garden on the side. She leaned against a big tree with lush branches and leaves, covering her face and crying. Liemo could only stand quietly behind her. He felt that any way of chatting up now would be mistaken for having ulterior motives. This scene was really embarrassing. A girl was crying pitifully, and there was a boy standing behind her who was at a loss. Liemo now felt that he was a little careless. Hey, what are you doing standing here? At some point, the girl stopped crying and turned around to look at him with strange eyes. Liemo tried his best to put on a righteous smile on his face. I don't know what's bothering you. Maybe I can help you? The girl's almond-shaped eyes widened and she laughed. Can you help me? Liemo was at a loss. Maybe. I'm a great scientist. The girl looked at the young boy in front of her carefully and said, Great scientist, help me invent a battery with an energy density of 500 and a charging speed of 10 minutes. It was indeed because of the battery. Liemo thought helplessly. If he could invent such a battery, he wouldn't have to come here to learn from others. But his face showed confidence. Maybe I can really invent it? The girl shook her head in disbelief. Don't comfort me. My idea has been rejected. No one in the laboratory believes me. It seems that the girl proposed an idea, which was ruthlessly rejected by others. Liemo suddenly had an idea and pointed to the pavilion next to him and said, Why don't we go sit over there for a while, so you can tell me what good ideas you have? I'm a great scientist. The girl saw his serious expression and smiled. Okay, it's good for one more person to know. There was an octagonal pavilion next to it, with 2 rows of wooden chairs in it. By the way, you are not from our laboratory, right? The girl suddenly asked, after sitting down on the chair. Liemo was stunned for a moment and replied, Of course not, but I know you, and I know your name is Jingjing, right? Hearing that the boy in front of her knew her name, Jingjing's eyes widened, and she thought for a while and said, Forget it. Anyway, this suggestion has been rejected countless times, so it doesn't hurt to tell you. Liemo sat upright, indicating that he was listening attentively. Jingjing asked, Do you think the 3 commonly used batteries can achieve the goal I just mentioned? Energy density 500, charging in 10 minutes? Liemo shook his head. The principle of the battery is to convert electrical energy into chemical energy. If you need to increase the energy density, you can only increase the median voltage of the positive electrode and reduce the median voltage of the negative electrode. The energy density of the battery is related to the choice of the chemical system, and the latter is a highly coupled whole. Reflected in the macroscopic view, no indicator is an independent individual. Drinking poison to quench thirst for energy density is a typical manifestation of being blinded by one's own strengths. In other words, blindly improving energy density means that the safety and cost effectiveness of the battery will be reduced. A technology that can only stay in the laboratory but cannot be mass produced is meaningless. So without the emergence of new materials, this goal is difficult to achieve. I haven't studied the charging speed of the battery. Can you add to it? Liemo threw the question to Jingjing. Chapter 198 Air Battery. Jing glanced at him and said, "The fact that you can clearly explain the density of the battery is enough to show that you know something about batteries. In our battery industry, we usually use the charge and discharge rate to describe the relationship between charging speed and current. For example, the rate when the battery is fully charged in 1 hour is called 1C, and the rate that only takes 30 minutes is called 2C, and so on. Any rate exceeding 1C is called fast charging. Nowadays, the charging rate of lithium-ion batteries can generally reach 1C 3C, and the highest can probably reach 5C. In addition to the bottleneck of the maximum charging rate, the charging rate that the battery can withstand under different shocks is also different. Generally speaking, the charging rate will follow a rhythm of slow fast slow. Generally, when the shock reaches more than 90%, the internal resistance of the battery will increase significantly, slowing down the charging rate. It is true that the charging speed can be increased by increasing the current. However, if the current is too large, the diffusion rate of lithium ions inside the battery cannot keep up with the diffusion rate of electrons, which will cause the electron-ion transport to be disconnected, affecting the battery performance, and the achievable charging capacity will be reduced accordingly. The battery life will be even more miserable, and there will even be a risk of fire and explosion. Nowadays, an electric car generally needs 82 kWh of electricity to be fully charged, and there is no battery fast charging technology that can fully charge it within 10 minutes. Hearing her explanation, Liemo immediately understood that it was just like drinking water. A normal person drinks about 3000 milliliters of water a day. If it exceeds this amount, it will be harmful to health. He asked, "What do you think about this problem?" Jing raised her cute little face and said, "The energy density of lithium batteries has reached its limit. If you want to obtain more energy and charging speed, you can only find another way." Liemo nodded. He agreed with this point. After a technology has developed to the extreme, even at a great cost, it is difficult to make significant progress. Seeing that her point of view was agreed, Jing was obviously happy. "Do you know about air batteries?" Air batteries? Although Liemo knew something about the battery industry and had heard of the name of air batteries, he didn't know the specific characteristics, so he shook his head. Air batteries are a type of chemical battery. The construction principle is similar to that of dry batteries, except that they release electrical energy by absorbing oxygen from the air and undergoing an oxidation reaction inside the battery. Let me put it this way. The interior of air batteries generally uses metal materials, mainly common metals such as aluminum, lithium, and tin. During the use of the battery, it absorbs oxygen during discharge and releases oxygen during charging, and basically does not produce any emissions. Even if the battery capacity is increased, it will not cause environmental pollution. And the energy density of air batteries is more than 10 times higher than that of ordinary lithium batteries, and the charging speed and safety are much better than lithium batteries. Jing talked eloquently, appearing to be extremely professional. Liemo's eyes lit up. This battery releases oxygen during charging, and absorbs oxygen during discharge, and basically does not emit waste. This battery is environmentally friendly. And the energy density is 10 times higher, which means that the endurance of new energy vehicles using this battery will be increased 10 times. But experience tells him that, if an invention is not popularized, it must have its fatal flaws. Sure enough, Jing's face darkened and she said, "There have been studies on air batteries abroad. When the battery is discharged, solid oxides are generated in the electrolyte. This substance will adhere to the anode and block the contact between the anode and the air, and finally stop the discharge. But these problems may be solved by inventing new materials." Those people in the laboratory said I was dreaming. Liemo agreed with this point. The development of science and technology is from scratch, from slow to fast. Can people thousands of years ago imagine that a big iron box can run on the road by itself? "Can you tell me your phone number?" He took out his cell phone. Jing looked horrified. "I know you have bad intentions. I won't give it to you. This girl is quite vigilant." Liemo said helplessly, "My name is Liemo. I'm a scientist. You can search my name on the internet." "Such a young scientist?" Jing looked suspicious, but she saw the boy in front of her swearing, hesitated for a moment, and took out her cell phone. discoverer of Marxing, winner of the first prize of the National Natural Science Award, winner of the Abel Prize. Liemo is you? The search scared her. There are so many titles, and each one is heavyweight. There's a photo of me on it, compare it. Liemo said helplessly. He had never asked others to recognize him like this before. Yes, he looks a bit like me, but he looks more handsome in the photo. Jing Jing compared it. The man in the photo looked quite heroic, especially his deep eyes. Liemo didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He was the kind of person who looked good on camera. He didn't need to put on makeup, and the photos he took looked beautiful. I believe you. The phone number is 156XXXXXX. But what's the point of you asking for my number? I'm just a small researcher. Jing Jing asked doubtfully. The rank in the academic world is also very clear. The theoretical professors in the ivory tower always look down on those who do experiments. Liemo smiled slightly. You'll know when the time comes. Goodbye. After getting the number, he stood up and left. A huge plan slowly took shape in his mind. Maybe this is an opportunity. Let's go to Mr. Wang's place. Liemo returned to the gate and saw Xia King waiting for him in the car. Daffy was nowhere to be seen. I guess Daffy is still hanging out with his buddy. Don't wait for him. Xia King nodded. Tell Brother Fei on WeChat that we are leaving first. Liemo said as he started the car. Baidan was very fast. Half an hour later, the red car stopped in a small village on the outskirts of the city. Liemo took out his phone and called Brother Hay to tell them that they were at the door. Since he had perfectly completed the rocket engine mission last time, Liemo had obtained the permission to visit directly, but out of courtesy, he still notified Brother Hay in advance. There was a sound of the door opening at the door, and Liemo got out of the car. A man with one arm hanging around his neck appeared at the door. It was Brother Hay. He was injured. Liemo walked forward unconsciously and asked, "How did you get injured?" Brother Hay was still unshaven, with the vicissitudes of life on his face. "It's okay. I was careless when I was on a mission. It will be fine in a few days." It seems that Brother Hay was injured while performing the mission. He was like a sharp sword of Mr. Wang. Seeing that he didn't care, Liemo knew that it was useless to say anything more. He patted Brother Hay's shoulder gently. "Mr. Wang is waiting for you upstairs. Go quickly." Brother Hay had a look of knowing everything. Chapter 199 Seeking Help. "Come on. Please sit down." Old Wang sat at the writing desk, writing calligraphy with a wolf hair brush. Hearing his footsteps, he greeted him. Liemo walked forward. After not seeing him for a while, Old Wang seemed to have more silver hair on his head, but he was still energetic. Be indifferent to fame and wealth. After finishing writing, Old Wang gently placed the brush on the pen holder. At this time, he found that Liemo was still standing next to him. He scolded, "Why don't you sit down?" Liemo knew his temper and had to sit down at the table. "This is the tea that Hazy found from Yunnan. It's called Yunwu tea. Come and try it." Old Wang took out 2 teacups, rinsed them with hot water, then took out a small paper bag from the drawer and carefully took out a handful of tea leaves. The boiling water rushed in, and the tea leaves flew, green and shiny, looking particularly beautiful. "Brother Hay is injured?" Liemo had been hesitant since he entered the door, and now he finally couldn't help it. Although Brother Hay was just his liaison, after going through so many things, Liemo had completely regarded him as a friend. Wang Lao was startled, handed over a cup of tea, and said lightly, "It's just a minor injury. It's nothing serious." Liemo saw that his eyes twitched slightly, and it was obvious that his heart was not as calm as he appeared. "What did you come here for today?" Wang Lao was unwilling to discuss this topic. Liemo took a sip of Yunwu tea, and sure enough, the fragrance lingered on his lips and teeth, and a warm current rushed straight to his heart and lungs. He put down the teacup and said, "I'm going to build a laboratory." "What?" Wang Lao was holding up the water cup and was shocked by his words for a moment. Liemo repeated, "I want to build a laboratory in Yanda, and I need your support." Laboratories are large and small. Depending on the function and equipment, the cost ranges from thousands of yuan to hundreds of billions. Liemo has no problem with funding. The key is the location of the laboratory. A mature laboratory includes hardware and software. Hardware is experimental equipment, and software is talent. Now he is still in the starting stage and can only rely on Yanda, which has the best students in the country, to obtain suitable talents. What do you want to do? Wang Leo's surprise was fleeting. If someone else said that, he would definitely kick that person out. But the young man in front of him was different. There seemed to be something unpredictable about him, and he could always turn decay into magic. Liemo replied, "At present, I want to study battery projects, which are suitable for new energy vehicles." Wang Leo showed a hint of joy on his face. China's new energy vehicle industry has a certain advantage in the domestic market because it has been valued and started early. But there is a technology madman named Mark in M country who likes to launch rockets. He founded Stellar Electric Vehicles, which is world famous for its unmanned driving and battery cell management. It has become the biggest enemy of China's new energy vehicle industry. Once Stellar Automobile enters the domestic market, it will inevitably cause a huge blow to these new energy vehicles in China. So Wang Leo knows what such a project means once it succeeds. What kind of help do you need? Are you short of funds? Liemo shook his head and said, "There is no shortage of funds. The most important thing is a suitable site and a professional construction team." He had this idea when he was in the Xiaoshan laboratory. Building a laboratory of his own is crucial for the future. On the one hand, it can turn academic research into actual results, and on the other hand, it can also cultivate some talents for the country. Internationally, a mature laboratory can provide huge support for a country in science and technology. For example, the ANL laboratory in the United States established the first controllable nuclear reactor in human history, completed an important part of the Manhattan Project, and enabled mankind to enter the atomic energy age. After the war, the ANL laboratory has made outstanding contributions in materials science, physics, chemistry, biology, life and environmental sciences, high-energy physics, mathematics and computational science. And he also has some alien black technology, such as the cosmic quantum wave detector, which needs a suitable place to be placed. In Yanda? Asked Mr. Wang. Liemo nodded. In the early stage, we can only rely on the talents of Yanda to get the laboratory on the right track. Old Wang frowned. Those old antiques in Yanda are not easy to deal with. Although Old Wang has a high reputation, he is also a mess when it comes to the older generation in the academic world. And it is not the best option to solve this kind of thing with administrative orders, because that is not a martial ethics. The affairs of the academic world should be solved in the scope of the academic world. This is exactly what Liemo is worried about. He should develop in the academic world for a few more years, put forward some new theories, solve more world problems, and win more international awards to improve his academic status. By then, it will be more legitimate to establish this laboratory. But time waits for no one. He feels that the high-speed alien aircraft is not a good person. How about this? I will invite the leaders of Yanda to get together to discuss it. I believe they will understand the pros and cons. For Liemo, Old Wang also gave up his face. Then I'm very grateful, Liemo said excitedly. With Old Wang's appearance, this matter can be said to be set in stone. Mr. Wang smiled and said, "You don't have to thank me. As long as your laboratory can really produce results, it will be the greatest report to me. Let's do this. It's better to do it today than to wait for a day. I will ask my assistant to invite them now." At this time, Yanda was holding a school affairs meeting. 5 million. I still need a budget of 5 million. Otherwise the later construction of the new building cannot proceed. No, the budget gap for this quarter is already very large. Where can I get the money for you? I don't care. Will you take the responsibility for delaying the project? The vice president in charge of logistics and the financial director argued over the budget. Watching his favorite generals quarreling, the president closed his eyes helplessly. But his cell phone rang. It was not appropriate to answer the call at this time. He took out his cell phone and decided to turn it off. But when he saw the caller ID, he immediately stood up and walked out the door. But a vice president stood up and walked out the door to answer the phone. But the president in charge of teaching stood up and walked out the door to answer the phone. Several people looked at each other outside the door, and it was the principal who spoke first. Old Wang has some new tea, and he invited me to taste it. He invited me too. He invited me too. Wow, the entire leadership team of Yanda was invited. Is old Wang going to attack Yanda? For ordinary leaders, you can guess some reasons from their tone, but for someone like old Wang who has been through a lot, the tone on the phone was just a faint feeling. Nothing big has happened in Yanda recently. The principals frowned and thought hard. I think we should go together. Maybe old Wang has something to do. The principal who had just quarreled at the meeting took the initiative to say, he has rarely shown up in recent years. Yes, old Wang is the only old generation of scientists left in our country. He has trained countless scientific researchers for our country. The vice president who said this was one of old Wang's students back then. Hearing the call of his mentor, he could no longer hold back. Let's decide it this way. The meeting is suspended. Let's go to old Wang's tea party together. In the end, it was the principal who made the final decision. Everyone nodded. Chapter 200 Tea Party. In the suburbs, the tea tree man Liemo didn't know that there was such a place in Yanjiao. There were rows of single-family villas, and the roadside was shaded by trees and flowers. Where is this? He turned his head and asked Wang Lao, who was resting with his eyes closed. My home. Wang Lao closed his eyes. Liemo, I really don't understand why people live in a remote village when there is such a retirement resort. But now is not the time to ask this question. Heije had to sit in the co-pilot because of his arm injury, and his face showed a bit of loneliness. At the end of the road was a garden-style villa. The yard surrounded by wooden fences was larger than the other yards just passed by. The car stopped gently. Heije got out of the car first and opened the door. Wang Lao walked a few steps to the fence door, hesitated for a moment, and finally sighed and gently pushed the door open. Entering the living room, marble tiles, all solid wood simple sofas, and grey Yanban kung fu tea tables, Liemo found that, although the place was extremely clean, it seemed to lack some fireworks, as if it had been idle for a long time. Old Wang seemed to have some resistance to this place. He sat down on the sofa and said nothing more. Brother He, with his injured arm in a sling, began to prepare tea sets. While he went into the kitchen to boil water, Liemo followed him in. The kitchen utensils were already complete, and the pots, pans, spoons, stoves, and chimneys were all spotless. What is this house? He asked while helping Brother He wash the cups. Brother He shook his head and said, this is what old Wang prepared for his son. Don't ask too much. It sounded like there was a story behind this, and Liemo understood it clearly. Old Wang, it's a blessing for us to drink your tea today. Liemo returned to the living room and found that several leaders of Yanda had arrived, and a middle-aged man with a bald head was talking. Hello, leaders, the Yun Wu tea is here. He greeted them and placed the tea sets neatly on the tea table. Several leaders thought he was just someone close to Mr. Wang and nodded. Vice President Zhao Feng was the sharpest. Isn't this Liemo? Why is he here? Liemo replied while pouring tea. Mr. Wang is my old mentor. I'll come to help if I have nothing to do. The leaders were stunned. They knew Mr. Wang's identity very well, but they didn't expect that this genius boy from Yanda would have something to do with him. Liemo made the tea, but he didn't turn around and leave. Instead, he moved a chair and sat next to him. The leaders exchanged glances tacitly. If they, who are good at socializing, don't understand the meaning, they won't be able to get into the upper echelons of the school. Drink tea. Mr. Wang raised a cup of tea and gestured. The leaders raised the tea. It's fragrant, really fragrant. This tea smells extraordinary. It tastes bitter first and then sweet. It leaves a lingering fragrance on your lips and teeth. Could it be picked from the mother tree on Liaolan Mountain? A fat vice president exclaimed. Tea doesn't care about origin. As long as it tastes good, it's good tea. Mr. Wang said slowly. That's right. Mr. Wang is a tea connoisseur. If you approve of it, it must be good tea. A vice president wearing glasses said with a smile. Mr. Wang put the teacup on the table and looked around. Good tea is good, bad tea is bad. This is determined by the tea itself and has nothing to do with people. Your attitude is not acceptable at work. The vice president's forehead was sweating and he nodded repeatedly. Mr. Wang taught me, and the students will remember it. The vice president who was taught a lesson did not show a trace of sadness on his face. Instead, his face was flushed, as if it was an extremely honorable thing to be criticized by Mr. Wang. He went on to say, student Liemo is really lucky. Mr. Wang is an old senior in our scientific research community. Learning from Mr. Wang will benefit you a lot. Liemo nodded. The teacher's attitude towards academic research is indeed worth learning from. That's right. Thinking back to the days when Mr. Wang and his colleagues braved the low temperature of more than 20 degrees below zero to conduct experiments in the desert, that spirit is always worth learning from. A vice president continued. Without the hard work of Mr. Wang and his colleagues, we wouldn't have the good situation we have now. Faced with such flattery, Mr. Wang could not deny it. He seemed tired and leaned on the sofa with his eyes closed. Everyone chatted one sentence after another, from tea to satellites, from small vendors to overseas trade, from the internet giant's strong promotion of community group buying to the insecurity of imported cold chains. But no one mentioned the purpose of this visit, as if this tea party was just for chatting. Liemo listened quietly at the side, and he felt that he had to admire the patience of these leaders. Finally, Mr. Wang, who had slept enough, opened his eyes. Okay, let's stop here today. You all have official business, so I won't stay any longer. The leaders stood up and said goodbye. At this time, the president of Yan University turned around and said to Liemo with a smile, we are holding a school affairs meeting. You can also go and listen to it, so as to help the school come up with some ideas. Liemo cast his eyes on Mr. Wang. Mr. Wang nodded. School meeting room. It was the first time for Liemo to step into this meeting room. The interior decoration of the meeting room was very simple. There were a few chairs next to the jujube conference table. Everyone welcomes Professor Lee to the meeting. Let's go. The president presided over the meeting. Applause rang out, and Liemo remembered that he was still a visiting professor. Don't you say? It sounds much better than being a student. We are discussing the future development plan of Yanda University. I wonder if Professor Lee has any opinions? The president sat in the chairman's seat and guided him step by step. Liemo looked straight at him. I need to build a laboratory on the campus of Yanda University. Laboratory? Don't we have several laboratories in Yanda University? Is this laboratory private or school owned? A stone stirred up 1,000 waves. The school leaders attending the meeting immediately started to discuss it. A small professor actually wanted to build a laboratory. That was simply wishful thinking. The president pressed his hand, and the discussion became much quieter. It can be seen that he is actually very authoritative. I don't know what kind of laboratory you want to build, and in what aspects do you need the school to cooperate. The president has made up his mind. A laboratory is not a toy for playing house. It requires a huge amount of capital investment. Although the young man in front of him is Professor Wang's student, if he doesn't have a suitable reason, it won't work. Liemo thought for a while and said, I want to build a private laboratory. I don't need the school's financial support. I will raise funds myself. Hearing this, the leaders present breathed a sigh of relief. They were afraid that Professor Lee would ask for too much in the name of Professor Wang. But I need the school to provide a laboratory space. Of course, I will pay the rent every year. The principal cast his eyes on the vice president in charge of infrastructure. The vice president said, our school happens to have a newly completed building. I wonder how much area you need. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.